Introducing Passport Bros, your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
And we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. It is your man BMT in the building, and we got a very interesting topic today, discussing about Rio de Janeiro. We'll talk about Colombia as well. I hope everybody's doing well. I know right now it's the elections, or the previous night of the elections going on, so I know some of you guys are, planning on voting or all that good stuff. And shout out to you, man. This channel right here is never really built on politics. I like to keep that separate. It seems like politics really divides us, man. All I can say is, hey, vote for who you believe in. I guess you want to say that, but we don't really dive too much in politics. I do feel like politics separates the populace. It's like a big spectacle, in my opinion. But vote for who you vote for on this pre-vote night. I guess you want to say pre-eve vote night of the elections. So, whatever candidate you feel like can improve your daily life, then go ahead and vote for it. But regardless, we are Passport Bros. Most of us are Passport Bros. In the chat, you're going to have Passport Bros and Passport Bro haters. But hey, welcome to the show. We got some good stuff to talk about. Actually, not good stuff. We got some important things to talk about on this stream. All right. What's good, family? Okay. All right. We got a couple of trolls in the building, but we in here, man. Also, real quick before we get started on the show, it's going to be a real interesting show tonight, man. Because we got to talk about, we've been talking about for the longest, a few things about safety concerns, all right? More people traveling. We love these exotic women, everything. Well, there's a learning curve. It's a very important learning curve, too, that we're going to talk about today, okay? Said BMT, ATL, overseas journalist, salute. All right. Shout out to you, big time. But we here kind of heavy already, man. Y'all trying to see what's up. That's good. Y'all want to be informed. I like that. That's important. Somebody said Rio is too dangerous. Tell everyone not to go. I think that's a laugh emoji, though. Let me put that up on the screen. All right. All right. 313. Nate Trout, much love to you and the bros from Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out to you. Also, guys, on the Passport Bros app, man, we got a lot of downloads as of recent. So the community is popping right now. I want to thank everybody that's downloaded the app. We just released the Reels feature, so we do have Reels on the app as well. We got some new features coming before the new year. So the app, the community is popping, man. Guys flying all over the world, showing receipts, making money. So make sure you download the Passport Bros app. And I also want to give a shout out to my man, Razor Rays. If you guys haven't subbed to Razor Rays, make sure to sub to Razor Rays. He's always streaming on the Passport Bros app. I'm streaming on the app. We're going to have some other streamers coming on We just had Travelversity post on the app today as well. So it's our own little community, man. If you guys haven't downloaded it yet, make sure to download the app so you can get a genuine travel experience within the private community. All right. So, it's legit. We work really hard on it, man. Shout out to my team of developers. It's all working with Passportbros, though, man. I tell you, guys go on vacations all the time. But shout out to my developers as well, all right, all around the world. We popping in there, all right? We definitely popping in there. Somebody say, got to know how to move, right? Hey, listen, as more people are traveling, it's going to be more incidents. More Americans are trying to get out of the States and spend longer times overseas. Speaking of spending a long time overseas, what we're doing right now for the community, me and my assistant, is we trying to not figure out because I'm insured, but what we really want to do is make sure that we have the right insurance, man. Guys, make sure you have the right insurance. Because I had a friend of mine, a good close friend of mine, had an accident last night, and the hospital tried to hit him up. He had a motorbike accident out there in Thailand. So shout out to him. Get well soon, my guy. I'm not going to say your name. He wanted to do an interview, but he was all bandaged up and everything. He was just complaining about basically the hospital trying to charge him numerous amounts of money to get him pretty much bandaged up. And this is the thing, man. We really got to do our research, and we're going to do our due diligence to make sure that we find the right insurance provider. Now, I know you guys know that it's some certain travel insurance you can get while you're on the plane for your tickets, some little quick travel insurance. A lot of times, these foreign hospitals would not accept that. A lot of times, they will try to take advantage of you and get you to pay some forms of money, even though you're technically insured. So you want to make sure that if you're one of them guys who travels a lot, because a friend of mine, he travels all over the world constantly, basically. If you want them guys to travel a lot, you want to make sure that you have the right insurance provider. It's very important. If you're like an expat that's non-military or something like that, you definitely want to make sure that if you don't have like a really good insurance provider for that particular country, because sometimes you can have expat insurance that covers you anywhere outside of America, but you also can have that pretty much local insurance in that particular country. Like you can have insurance company for the DR, an insurance company for Colombia. I think Alliances in Colombia, they're really good. I suggest sometimes even so that you even have like a private doctor. It's very cheap or reasonable overseas to have a private doctor as well. Because in most cases, if you got some aches and pains, if it's nothing really major, you might be able to go by a clinic or something. They'll take care of you. Or you can have like I say, a private doctor. We do have a resource center in the app that you guys can tap into. It might be cheaper to just get a house call for a couple $100 than have to deal with a hospital that's going to charge you $3, $4, $10, $15, $20,000. All right, and they be wanting that money sometimes even before they service you. I've heard stories of guys dying on the hospital floor because they didn't have the money or they didn't have a credit card to charge for those services. So you want to really watch out for that. It's very, very important that you pick the right expat insurance. And in some cases, you want to ask if you have a friend that's been living out there, hey, man, what medical insurance do you use? Like I say, even here in the DR, I have a friend that's been here for 5 years. He has expat insurance, but he also has separate insurance as well, just in case something happens out here. All right. We got a couple of super chats, man. We're going to get to the story. We already at 100 in the building. What up, Kevin Romes? Said dudes need to stop traveling abroad thinking that everything runs like the U.S. or their home country. Yeah, you're right about that. All right. Hold on. I got a couple of super chats here. Let me read these super chats, man. Shout out my man Flight Madness for 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Brazilian goons out lurking. Shout out my man Flight Madness. All right. See, Flight ain't got to handle. He got to deal with all that. He over there in Asia where it's pretty safe. All right. Osuma Abdu, $2 super chat says BMT, you got the best sense of humor. Passport Bros. Shout out to Osuma Abdu. Kirby Fields with the 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that, my man. You're right-handed. All right. Says, what up, BMT? Hey, don't be beating up on my Rio travel safe, gentlemen. Shout out to my man Kirby Films. All right. But before we get to the Rio story, I want to talk about this story right here. All right. I haven't seen anybody cover this. We got actually an MMA fighter. I guess you want to call him the MMA. I looked him up, and the first thing I saw was him fighting a female. So I thought that was kind of strange. I was like, okay, he's supposed to be this, I guess, established grappler or wrestler, but he was drugged in Cartagena Let me go ahead and pull this up on the screen real quick before we get to the Rio story. All right. So here's the guy right here. He goes by the name of Craig Jones. I believe he's a British grappler. He was out there in Cartagena. And somebody posted this in the group. Actually, they posted it in the app first. Then somebody actually posted it in the Passportbros Facebook group as well. So let's go ahead and see what my man has to say about him being drugged out there in Cartagena. All right. And I'm going to get to the other super chat shortly. See what he's going to say.
I wanted to add a bit more context to what happened the other day. I posted a picture of me passed out in a bathroom and then a video being carried back to the hotel, and everyone was like, oh, that's just hilarious. That must be something he does regularly. Whether that's true or not, what actually happened to me was I was given the devil's breath, scopolamine, which is made out of some fucking random tree out here in Colombia. So what's strange about that is you fucking remember all the details in terms of PIN numbers and shit like that. So while I was under, I could barely walk, but I could still remember the 7-digit entry code to my fucking Airbnb, which is why you lose so much money. This is a word of warning to everyone out there playing it easy in Colombia. You could be 6'6". You could have strong cauliflower ears. You could have a perfect hairline and a beautiful Australian accent, and you too could become a victim.
Okay. All right. Hold on. He said some other stuff. Hold on real quick. Hold on.
To the devil's breath. So again, they snuck it into our margaritas. I saw my friend Seth, 5'1", 100 pounds, about to drink a full-strength alcoholic beverage, and I snatched it out of his hands and I drank both of them for us. Little did I know, I'd be taking both hits of scopolamine. So that fucked me up for a while. Still had a fair bit of memory loss. Brain has obviously not been optimal for years, but it's suboptimal now. So be careful out here in Medellin. To the devil's.
Okay, so that happened in Medellin. All right, and this is him right here. Okay, he's been drugged. All right, so you can see he's pretty much walking like a zombie there. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. They don't care. They take whoever. Yo, you still fighting out there, man? We gotta talk about that too. So yeah, he got scoped. And I try to look him up, man. I'm not trying to, but this is him. I mean, he's a pretty easygoing guy. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. All right. Let me pull this up. This was him, which is kind of strange because I looked up his fights. You know, I did look up some of his fights, and I was trying to find out, but this is like, I believe this is his last fight. It was actually against that big ass Brazilian woman, Gabby. All right, so you can see he's kind of a jokester, lighthearted guy out there. He was wrestling this chick right here.
Bravo. Do you think?
Man, they just got to hit you with the commercials. Hold on, let me take that off. We'll play that a little in a second. All right. Yeah, Craig Jones. Somebody said San Domingo's safe. San Domingo's relatively safe, actually. San Domingo's relatively safe. Let me play that little commercial through real quick.
You could present it.
Because I've been working out. Yeah, I've been working out every day, bro.
Yes.
All right, so hold on. Let me show you his little intro. He fought that big 6'5" something out there in Brazil. Hold on, we just had it up on the screen. Hold on. Pull this up. Hold on. Stop screen, share screen. So here we go. All right. So this was him.
And now to make his illustrious walk to the alley at 5'10", weighing in at a meek 175 pounds even, the two-time ADC silver medalist, the dynamic and innovative perennial second teamer finds himself.
All right, so this is him right here.
Outspoken agent of change.
He's a pretty lighthearted guy.
What is happening in my life right now?
For some reason, it's become our job to put words to this.
So that's him wrestling the little female and everything.
Oh, Oh, straight over the bell.
Mounts. That's high. Yeah, now.
That's weird. That's a big ass woman right there, boy. Gabby's huge.
Decade.
I want to say he won the fight, or it was a draw or something. But regardless, he got drugged.
None of this shit is
And I
working.
don't know if he is.
Listen, Craig has messed around with Gabby non-stop over the last couple of months in the lead up to this.
Oh, this is it right here.
Like he got an armbar on
There's no real ill will here, but yeah, he might have to put.
Jones is the world's first jiu-jitsu intergender champion.
to gender. I don't even know. I don't even know, fam. Yeah, she's huge. Is that a guy? Is somebody say enter? I have no idea what that is. Mr. Devotion says, guys, yeah, I got an ad extension. Said, guys, don't go to Columbia. Those women aren't worth your life. And don't talk about moving smart. It's just a matter of time till you got it seems. Mr. Travolta makes a good point. He makes a good point. Listen, I have talked to a lot of my friends. They love Medellin. I love Medellin. I mean, you're not stopping guys from going to Medellin no matter how much you want it, because they all feel like it won't happen to them. That's number one. And I know dudes that have been scoped and still go to Medellin. So that just goes to show you the power of exotic women. Because I'm like, you know, they are other countries or other cities that's safer in Colombia, right? Like, you got Bucaramanga, you got other little spots, man. Big Republic is safer, it's like you got other places you still can deal with these beautiful exotic women that don't, go extra hard with the drugging and the raiding of your bank accounts and shit. But for some reason, guys are like they just love Medellin, man. Somebody said feminism LGBT, Brazil is finished. Ooh, we ain't gonna go there. The Pisces are irresistible. All right. So let's go ahead and get to it, man. We've been here for a little second. We got 140 in the room. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. All right. Let's go ahead and get to the story of what happened in Rio. And let me know in the chat. As a matter of fact, let me throw a poll up real quick. And I want my vets, my travel vets, to chime in on this. I want you guys to chime in if you think Rio is just as dangerous as Medellin, all right? Because they drugging guys in Rio now, all right? And I'll be honest with you, man, that was like the last thing on my mind. Hold on, when I was there, make super chat. They got some other stuff going on right here. Hold on. Okay, yeah, let me. I want to put a poll in the audience real quick before we get to the story. Is Rio the new Medellin? I don't know. Is Rio more dangerous than Medellin? All right, let me put that up there. Start that poll. Somebody said, hell no, Rio is not as dangerous as Medellin. All right, I just put that poll in the group so you guys can vote on that poll real quick. Somebody says, oh, wow. I've been here a year. It's light work. I felt safe I felt safe in Rio. But I also only heard of maybe one story while I was out there of a woman attempting to drug a friend of mine. And he happened to catch it. My homie from the hood. So he's from the Bay. So he caught it. He caught it in that mirror. The hood dudes be looking at mirrors and, the hood dudes be knowing what it is. Real quick before I get to the story, by the way. Guys, if you're dealing in certain elements, understand that you're dealing with people from the so-called underworld, all right? Just know if you're doing that, you got to be extra careful and apply certain rules for dealing with people in that underworld. Now, you got guys who go to these countries, if they stay above a certain level of connections and wealth, they don't have to deal with this type of stuff. But if you out there and you're doing your nightlife scene and you're doing whatever, just keep that in mind that if it's 2-3 beautiful women or a really beautiful woman that seems to be enamored by your swag and your looks, and she wants to come to your house right away, some red flags should technically go up, especially if it's a language barrier. Now, keep in mind, things happen. Women like guys. It's going to be some nights where that's a normal thing, especially out there in Rio. But in most cases, you really got to know yourself too. You really got to know yourself. If you're one of them guys that's, and I hate to say because things are different overseas. I'm not saying that you got to be Don Juan, Magic One, to look all that great to pull a beautiful woman overseas, because it is different. And women do like guys that are different. But at the same time, come on, man. If you're 300 pounds overweight, you got these two exotic looking women fawning over you all of a sudden, it's probably a setup. It's probably a setup. Somebody said Brazil safer than Colombia. All right. All right, so let me pull this up real quick. Hold on. Okay. So here's the story right here. Is Rio dangerous? It can be, especially when you are just plain naive. Now, this is not me saying this. This is coming from a group. All right. Yes, I'm comfortable being harsh if it prevents one group member from being a victim. This happens all the time when drunk gringo men get the drinks drugged and take the girls who did it back to their Airbnbs. In this morning's case, they were in Lapa. That's what the guy who passed away a few months ago, that's where he met the same girls at. So now, Colombia, Medellin, I know my face is blocked here, but Colombia, Parquilleras, now you're looking at Rio, Lapa. This morning's case, they were in Lapa and took the girls to their Airbnb in Ipanema, literally a block from our home. They had their laptops, phones, and cash stolen. They were also tied up. That's kind of a new one. One still is in the hospital. I'm disappointed that the doorman didn't stop and warn them, but the residents broke the door down and rescued them. All right. Good grief, folks. Look at these gringos. They really want to believe that the ladies wanted to have sex with them. If you got to pay, go to some hotel. They are all over the city. I would say Monday workouts are forever entertaining watching the news on Global. Okay. I'm disappointed the doorman didn't stop and warn them, but the residents broke the door down and rescued them. All right, so those are the pictures. This is some of the pictures of the girls right here. All right, that's them. They got some drinks in their hand right there. All right, that's one of them leaving. I guess she had everything in her little bag right there. And they did have a picture of the guys in the elevator, but the picture was pretty blurred out. What up, Flyboy? Let's get a QB passport flexing. All right. So, man, yeah, hey, that's another thing, man. Your doorman is your last level of defense, basically. Every country I've been in, if I order a pizza, I shoot my doorman a couple of slices of pizza. Every blue moon, I shoot him a little tip, something like 500 pesos. They really appreciate stuff like that. Just look out for your doorman. It's going to look out for you. And have a conversation with your doorman, too. Say, hey, man, I'm a bachelor or whatever. I might have a woman over here time to time. If she leaves with some laptops or a big bag, just stop her. Just have a casual conversation with him. Shoot him a little tip or something like that. And, he might really look out for you, man. It's always the mestizos stick to Afro. Hey, that's not true at all, CC. Somebody says it's always the mestizos stick to the Afro-Colombians. No, it's Afro-Colombians robbing dudes too. You had one that got caught. I think she's doing like 20 years. She drugged like 200 something dudes out there. As a matter of fact, who's the documentary guy? Obi. I think his name is Obi, right? Is it Obi? The ones that does the Colombian scope queens. The Colombian scope queens. I think it's the Obi. Okay. Somebody seduced me so thirsty over there to chill. Listen, do what you do. We're not gonna get into all the mixes of hows and what's. All I'm saying is just be careful. It seems that it could possibly be that some of the Brazilian underworld people are looking at all the stuff that's going on out there in Colombia and all the money that they're making out there, and they might be bringing that same hustle down there. Now, from what my standpoint, I thought the scope started actually in Rio. It might have slowed down, but it may be picking back up. And another thing you guys got to understand, I don't know if it's the elections or whatnot, but the exchange rates are crazy right now in Colombia and Brazil and the DR for the most part. Meaning the American dollar is up high, and the daily currency is low. So I'm not sure if that, like I said, I don't know if that has to do with anything but the elections or not. But keep that in mind too. That hey, is the dollar is good for us, meaning their currency is not as powerful as it used to be. So they're going through their own things. Also keep in mind that the holidays are coming up too. All right, they got their own little holidays out there. Their Christmas and all that is out there as well. You know how things happen during the holidays, just like they get a little dangerous in the States, they get dangerous overseas as well. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Somebody said, yo, I heard there was a dude paying $200 to hit Raw and he had HIV. Okay, well, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. That's crazy, though, if that's what's happening. I say if you don't drink, Medellin seems safer. Yeah, I have a friend of mine who doesn't drink. And I still be kind of worried about my man a little bit because he's kind of naive, but he goes to Medellin all the time. He hasn't had any incidents. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that, no matter Noir. He says if you have an ounce of street smarts, then Rio is easy. I felt pretty safe in Rio. I felt pretty safe everywhere I was in. And I was in some spots in Rio. Somebody said, bottle away from me all day. Yeah, it's up. It's up right now. So $1 US is worth $5 in Brazil. I know cats that look at that exchange rate on the daily. And once they find out it's at 5, they go cash out. All right. Yeah, I seen that video by Lord Wilson QB. I seen that. Shout out to Lord Wilson. All right. Somebody said that he was using the dragon's breath, but I don't know if it's true. I don't know. I don't think that's got to the States. They use different stuff in the States. I think the strippers use. What strippers use? They use something like, I forgot what the name is, the little pills they be trying to put in people's drinks and stuff. But they use something different. They use something that you can like pretty much, I forgot what they use. But scopolamine, they pretty much make that shit arrive a plant. I gotta hit Mexico, man. I had a friend of mine just hit me and said he had a great time in Mexico. BMT, you heard of Amanda Wells TV? She is born and raised in Cali, Colombia. She is fine and beautiful. Her brother went out over there and married her. She's pretty and smart. What do you think about her, BMT? I'm not sure who Amanda Wells is, brother. I don't know who that is. I think I know you're talking about. I believe I know you're talking about. I'm not sure. Does she speak English? Somebody said dudes is thirsty. All men are thirsty, bro. All men are thirsty. All right. Shout out my man Passportbros. He says, yeah, they use something GHB. Okay, yeah. Oh, I didn't know her last name was Wells. All right, yeah. Shout out to Andre and Andrea. She just had a birthday. She just turned 30. Shout out to her. All right. Somebody said to you, I was going to do a show on that dude, Johnny Somali, man. Sometimes I just don't even feel like dealing with it. When I know that dudes are doing things in order to go viral, I always kind of like, okay, do I really want to touch up on it? Johnny Somali, that's what he does. He does something stupid. He goes viral. He gets more followers. It's just, he getting kicked out of countries and shit. And then he's Somali. Like, he's on some other shit. So, shout out to my Somali family. But like I said, he's on some other shit. He's on some other shit. Yeah, Obi-Lan. That's right, Bravo Joe. Shout out to Obi-Lan. Shout out to Obi-Lan. I wish I could have ran into him when I was in Medellin. I didn't run into him. Flyboy. Matter of fact, Flyboy, if you want to pull up, I'll drop a link real quick. I didn't really plan on doing too long of a show tonight. I just want to tap into the fam. All right. But if somebody wants to pull up, they're welcome to. Listen, I still plan on going to Medellin. I'll probably be in Medellin soon, but you know, I'm still curious that, I mean, guys go out there, have a great time. It's other countries, man. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I think it's other countries, other fly cities besides Medellin. But dudes don't seem like you can really move them off that mark, man. They really, really love Medellin. Paisas are very beautiful. You know what's crazy? I was dealing with a Paisa for 5 years in the States before I even went to Colombia. And she was crazy as hell. Still crazy. I'm a man said I never do in Medellin. They can have that. Yeah, keep that. Matter of fact, Barranquilla wasn't my first city, but I had a girlfriend from Barranquilla, so I used to go to Barranquilla. You know, I used to go to Barranquilla. Barranquilla got some nice looking women, man. They got some nice looking women. But it's hot as a mug. It's hot in Barranquilla, man. I miss that. I do miss the Medellin weather. I miss the Medellin weather for sure. It's the perfect 75, 70, 78, 80 every day. DR is hot as a mug, okay? It's hot. It is hot. Ecuador. Yoga, not tonight, Yoga. Not tonight, bro. Love time, Yoga. Shout out to Yoga. He in the back chat. Shout out to Yoga, man. Yeah, Barranquilla is hot as fuck. It's hot as hell. When I first got to Barranquilla, I was like, damn. Atlanta gets hot too, but it's a different type of hot in South America. Atlanta gets hot though. Atlanta's hot and muggy and shit. I like Venezuelans, but the Portuguese were crazy from the USA. Why would you want to go to Venezuela right now, bro? Thailand is hot too. It really is. All right. Let me bring my man, the Flyboy, away real quick. What up, Flyboy?
Hey, yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy, FRE, $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. Honestly, BMT, what up, man?
What's good, my man? What's good, man? Been a minute.
Yeah, I know it's been a minute. I've been like on my grind because I'm getting ready to go back to Medellin this week, and then I got to go to Ghana, Africa for like New Year's and stuff and for a wedding. So
okay.
But this is probably the most I've ever been to Medellin this year. I think I've been there like 4 times. It's gonna be my 4th time going this year. But I think the convenience of Medellin is a good thing. Plus, I'm not really a big drinker, so for me, it's like I don't really feel that same danger from the opportunity, because like a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't follow the economy. They don't know that the world is going through a big recession right now, and we we here in the United States, because everyone sees us with gold all around. They just have the assumption that we all come over there just richer than thou. So it is going to, no matter where you're at, whether you're in Medellin, you're in Colombia, whether you're in Brazil, whether you're in Thailand, even if the guy in the Philippines, they got
Yeah. I think the guy in the Philippines got warned though. He didn't take heed to the warnings.
That too. But I mean, at the same time, I heard he was giving away money and stuff. So again, like it's gonna be rough for us for a minute while everybody else is down.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Because do you feel like if you just kind of stay away from the alcohol, that eliminates maybe like 60% of the danger right there, the problem? Or
unfortunately, I know a lot of people say you got to have street smarts, but not everybody's street is the same. So there are some things that if you know, it will prevent you from getting scoped, getting robbed. Like a guy who I seen in Medellin last time got robbed. Dude looked like he could have been a street dude. He's black, maybe he wasn't. But why would you walk down the street at 4 o'clock in the morning with two hot honeys and you got jewelry on and stuff? That you would think somebody who wears jewelry look like that would be street smart. So it's not street smart. It's just a certain type of common sense you get from growing up in a place of poverty and understanding that areas are not dangerous because people are just mean. Areas are not dangerous because people are violent. Areas are dangerous because there's a big gap between the opportunity of people who have and those who have not. And Medellin is one of the biggest gaps, similar to if you go to Miami, similar if you go to some certain part like Buckhead, ATL, where there's a big gap between who has and who has not. And when you ride in that line in the middle, you can blame the country all you want, but it's not that.
You know what's funny, man? I see people in the group, they be like, man, I feel safer in Medellin than I do in my own city. And I'd be like, yeah, but it's different. You know, like the biggest difference is because I know you speak Spanish pretty well. I speak Spanish, but it's still like, you know, in the heat of the moment, the communication could be off. You know, like there's so many factors at play when you're dealing with crime overseas versus in your own city.
Again, I think the biggest issue is that it's the comfortability factor. Like I've never seen, me personally, I've never heard anybody get robbed that was a veteran that wasn't because they got comfortable. And when you get comfortable, you start acting like a rookie. You start doing stuff that you wouldn't normally do as you know as a veteran. So I think the comfortability factor is what allows people open aside from the drinking. I never really thought I still don't understand. Like every Airbnb I stayed with, the security don't let the girls out with if you don't go out. So I don't understand why. I think here's it. People who are getting scoped, they're trying to beat the system and save money in a place that you're already saving money by going the cheapest route. Stay in a place where the security guard doesn't really care about their job because, like you said, they're not getting paid that much. Or staying in a place where there's no security guard. Or staying in an area. I know you guys like Bello. I know you guys like that area. But you make enough money in the States to stay in El Poblado and Strata 6. You make enough money to stay in that place just because you can get more bang for your buck. If you go down to another strata 4, strata 3, well, then you're taking the opportunity of risk. And now when you say that Medellin, that Colombia is dangerous, I gotta say, how you not including the fact that you're putting yourself in a risky environment rather than
okay. I mean, but you do think Medellin is dangerous though, right?
I think that the level of opportunity for the people who don't have and the people who have is so wide in Medellin. And Medellin is so close that, yes, you can get robbed. But I don't overall think Medellin is dangerous because I don't know anybody that hasn't got comfortable that got robbed.
What you mean you haven't got comfortable that got robbed?
For example, if I'm a veteran, I know not to let a woman have a drink with me, right? I know not to bring women to my house if I know I don't have a security guard to protect it. I know not to go out with flashy change on and stuff. But when you hear somebody that's a veteran get robbed, it's usually because they ignore one of the stuff that they normally do. And the other people, like the guy, like the wrestler who got drunk, who got robbed. Maybe he just didn't know because he didn't do the research. Because he was sounding like it was something new to him. But again, like I'm not saying it can't happen to anybody, but normally when it does happen, it's a specific group of people in a specific fashion every single time.
You know what? It do seem like some guys are kind of naive. They just don't know. And he was mentioning that, man, it don't matter if you're 6'4", you a pro fighter. And I'm like, no, it don't. It don't matter at all. Why would you think that matters?
Why would you think that matters? Yeah, again, the same way as the guy who I seen get robbed. He was 6'2", 190, buff, like he could have been playing for the NFL or something. And I'm like, all of his friends gave him all their stuff. She gave him his passport to hold. Like there's not such thing as a gun. Like what the 6'2" gonna do to a gun? So again, like it's not a growing up in a hood thing. It's growing up in a place of poverty, or at least growing up in a place close to poverty and understanding how it works in these environments.
You know what's when people always try to say that, oh, it's the street workers. I'm like, nah, it's actually women sometimes it's women portraying themselves to be just women that they're dating, basically. You know what I mean? So you can't just say, "Oh, he got scoped. He was trying to date a pro." No, he was on Tinder trying to meet a regular girl.
But that's even the same thing. Again, even a girl like example, I'm trying to build a legacy. I'm building a legacy in Colombia. I'm building a legacy in Cuba. I knew the girl in Cuba for 7 years. I still get a security guard that's going to check her ID every time she get there. The girl in Colombia, the Jamaican girl I'm going back to see now. We done been like deep into stuff. I jumped off a cliff with her. Like, but I'm still staying in a secure place, even though my one of my closest friends, King James, has a condo in Puerto Poblado that I can stay in for free. I'm still paying $300 to stay in the place where security is going to watch me. I've been traveling for 15 years. If I'm still doing this, how are you telling me that you've never traveled, or you're just rarely traveling and you're just going to stay somewhere in Bello with no security guards in Strata 4? Like, how does that make any sense?
Right.
But the issue is everybody wants to be cheap, and we being inexpensive already. Us being in these countries, being in Brazil, being in Colombia, being in DR, being in the Philippines, we're already being inexpensive. But as you try to budget yourself all the further down, yes, more danger is going to come. So the country's not dangerous. You're just budgeting yourself down to where the danger is at. Like the guy in the Philippines. Hopefully he's still alive.
You know, it's funny because like the woman I'm dating, she'll be like, "Why you stay here in this area? It's so expensive." I'll be like, "You know what? It's safe. You know, I do pay, a good amount of money to stay in this area, but I don't really want to be." And she's saying, "Oh, you can stay in Este or Norte and all that." And I'm like, "Yeah, but right now, maybe if I get more familiar with the communities and the neighborhoods and stuff around here, yeah. But right now, I'd rather be near the president. You know what I'm saying? Where it's police every goddamn where, rolling the block and everything like that." Like,
I love my favorite place is Barranquilla. I'm going to buy a place in Barranquilla as soon as my condo in Miami sells.
You know what's funny, man? Because I know people that hates Barranquilla. He only there for his wife, but
it's, again, for me, Barranquilla, because I seen the network of us brothers there. For one, secondly, I've been that was the first country. First part of the country I entered myself into the first time with the Colombia, and also because Barranquilla is the more higher mixture of melanated people, and I feel comfortable. I feel super dope. A lot of people go to Medellin, and Medellin has a lot of, I don't know why, but most people don't show the Afro paisas. There's a bunch of Afro pie. Every single time I put up a video, I got an Afro paisa with me. But a lot of people don't show that because they go in the environment that they like. There's no problem with that. But in Barranquilla, when you see more people that resemble you, you might feel a little more comfortable, and honestly, you can still have that security and be inexpensive.
You know what's funny, man? I looked at the list of. I know you've seen this list time again too. You see the biggest black populations, and you got Brazil the biggest black populations outside of Africa.
Yeah.
And you got Brazil number 1,
Colombia
America number 2, Colombia number 3.
I thought Colombia was number 2, but okay.
Yeah, I think it's Brazil. I think Brazil's like 90 million. America is 40-something million. They did all types of stuff to kind of curve our little, our population. Probably could have been at 80 million too, but they be doing their little thing in America with the population control. It's a whole nother story. But Colombia was right there at number 3. And then you had like DR. Then you know what? They had Saudi Arabia. I'm like, damn, we everywhere.
How they classify black a lot of times be kind of questionable, but I understand.
Let me see if I can find that. I might.
How they like, because if you want to include Jamaicans when they're in America, if you want to include Haitians when they're in America, if you want to include people from the Caribbean in Americas and the Colombians that come to America as all black, then America has to probably have the highest black population outside of Brazil, because it's so many other countries that come in and not even included all together. But again, to me, what I say is this, y'all. Show me a person who got scoped, who wasn't being cheap, who wasn't getting drunk, who didn't do any research, and then I'll tell you if the place is dangerous or not.
Now, you know what? I do have guys like when I was left Medellin last time. A friend of mine met a chick on Instagram, took her out that little nice little bowling spot in Medellin. Brought her home, drunk some. He don't even drink. Drunk some orange juice, and he was out. She took all this shit.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I don't get it. So he had no security guard to stop her.
I don't know. I don't know the situation. I know he had disappeared for a minute. I thought he had went back to the States, but he was like, "Nah, man, I've been trying to recuperate. I got drugged. I lost everything. I had to start all over again."
That is so crazy. And
you know what pissed a lot of Dominicans off? I'm looking at that little stat right there, right? 5. That shit will piss the hell out. Hey. If you ever call a Dominican black, boy, especially the women, if you make a mistake and call her black, boy, they will go off on your ass, boy.
I understand it though. I understand it.
Yeah, I get it too, but it's just funny because my homeboy who's Dominican in the States, he be like, yeah, don't say nothing. He just wait. He said, wait till they get to the States. They gonna be. He said it's always funny seeing how they like. It might take a couple of months or a year or two before they really get it. And then once they get it, they be like, okay. I get it now. Like, yeah, I'm not white, basically.
Well, so shout out to Backpack Val. I'll tell you this, Backpack Val, real quick. I understand what you're saying, but check this out. If you don't do the research to know how to move, shout out to Razor Rays, and know how a certain country how to carry yourself in any environment, well, then you're not a victim.
Backpack, pull up, Backpack, shit.
Then you're not a victim. You're a volunteer. If you don't do the research that you need to do when you're going to a place that you may not know of, if you don't take the steps to find the information out you need to protect yourself, you're not a victim. So that's not victim shaming. What you're doing is you're becoming a volunteer. You're volunteering, giving them everything you want because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So it's never victim blaming, because a victim is someone of certain. If I'm walking down the street in here and I get shot because they're trying to shoot somebody else, I'm a victim. But if I'm going to a country and I know I've done the research that this country calls this, that I shouldn't wear a chain, that I shouldn't drink extra money, that I should get a security guard. If I know all the stuff and I still choose to go rock a big chain, get a pro, and then bring it back to my Airbnb with no security, well then I'm a volunteer. We got to stop calling these people victims. A lot of these people are volunteers.
Now, one thing, Flyboy, I gotta disagree with you there, bro, because I call them victims personally. I think it happened to anybody. Me personally, it can happen to anybody. You know, I'm not one of the people that be thinking like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you gotta move a certain way, but if people want you, man, they're gonna get you, bro. And you're not from there, you somewhat of a target already. I think things just happen personally.
But things do happen. Again, if you're walking down the street, then you might get caught in the crossfire. That's none of your fault. There are victims. But when you know all this stuff exists, bro, I can understand if you didn't live in an era where technology wasn't here and we didn't have this internet, we didn't have the Passport app, the Passportbros app, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have this stuff. I can understand if you didn't live in this technologically era and you're older. But most of the people who are getting robbed, they've been on the internet before. They've been in the stuff before. So that doesn't make you a victim because you know what not to do and you still do it.
Hold on. My man Backpack pulling up. I think that's Backpack.
Yo, that's me. What's shaking, everybody? What's shaking, everyone?
Man, I heard from you a minute, man. You good?
Yeah, everything's all good. I'm about to go back on vacation real soon. Thank you, though.
Okay, that's what's up, man. What you got to say to Flyboy, man?
Flyboy, you know I love you, man. You know you're my brother and all that, but it's victim blaming, my good guy, man. It's victim blaming. Come on, like.
Wait.
Now, because I was just gonna say, like, even if every single foreigner, right, that went to visit Medellin were to take precaution, it still wouldn't stop anything from happening. That's just now insinuating that the Colombian criminals are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a cycle that's just bound to continue no matter how much precaution one can take.
But how will we know that if honestly know everybody, the majority, we can't even say everybody, the majority of guys that go to Medellin are not taking precautions. So it's not even
my fault.
An idea of saying, well, if everybody did it, because the majority of the people don't do it now.
I would say you would be right if there weren't even people that live there, right? That expat there are even getting scoped and robbed and all that other stuff.
Do you know when they get robbed? They get robbed because they get loose. They don't have a security guard that's protecting the front door. They get loose. They invite girls over and they get drunk with the girls because they feel comfortable with them. Again, I told the story earlier. I knew the girl for 7 years, and I'm still to this day get a security guard when I call her over because I don't trust like that. But when you get comfortable, you do that, and you just that's going from victim to volunteer.
Understood though, but you understand by taking all that precaution in the first place, just already gives you that sense that there's danger lurking amongst that city to begin with.
No,
you're acknowledging that. Yes, you are. I'm not saying that like I'm not saying that, hey, be careless with your belongings. Hey, leave your door unlocked or your door open or anything like that. But hey, if you gotta do all that stuff every single day and have to constantly remind yourself, then you also have to also acknowledge that there is danger amongst the location you're doing that at.
Correct. It's not acknowledging that it's danger. It's acknowledging that it's opportunity for a person who needs to get up to get up. It's not danger. Danger means if I drive a car blindfolded, that's dangerous, right? That's dangerous.
Absolutely, but that's going on the extreme end.
Because I'm blindfolded. But if I'm not blindfolded, that doesn't make the car dangerous. Therefore, if I'm going to Medellin and I understand that there are some people who are not economically where I am at, and they see me, it doesn't mean that they're violent people and dangerous. It just means that if I put the opportunity in front of somebody, if I leave $100 on the counter, if I go to Sasua and I leave $100 on the counter and I go to the bathroom, do you think that the woman is not going to take it before and leave?
She absolutely would take it.
But is that dangerous, or did I just create opportunity that she really needed?
That's both. That's both. But you don't have to go that extreme end to even make that point because no. I'll leave it at that.
Again,
okay.
All I'm saying is that yes, is there such thing as danger? Yes, but is it dangerous when people are going places and dangling? If I perfect example, last example, if I walk in a zoo, we all know a zoo is not dangerous, right? Because we know the animals are behind the cage. It's not correctly to any country. The animals are behind the cage. But if I do what some of these people do and jump in an exhibit with them, is the zoo dangerous, or did I just do something that they try to prevent me from doing?
Come on, man. You're going off on the deep end with these examples, though.
As long as you stay in that lane of what knowing how to move, like Razor Ray said, you're not jumping in a polar bear pool. You're not opening the lion cage. You're being there and you're enjoying the time in the places you go. But a lot of people are crying victim after they walk into the lion cage and the lion done bit their head off. Come on, man. You gotta stop doing this, y'all.
What you gotta say, Bad Pat?
No, I'm gonna let him go off. I'm gonna let him go off. My son was wild just now. I just disagree. Like to a degree. Like I'm not saying that what Flyboy's saying is wrong all the way, but like not to say that like there's fault within like you know what I'm saying with every single foreigner that it happens to is playing disingenuous to a degree. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of downplaying like the true danger that lies within Medellin. And I don't think it's anything to really like, you know what I'm saying? Like go back and forth about, really, you know?
I agree with you. It's not everything. But when I speak on the majority. The majority of guys this is happening to. The majority of people it's happening to are those people that's opening the bear cage, going up to the bear and going when the security guard's sitting there like, what you doing? We created El Poblado with security guards you can pay for that'll watch your stuff so you'll be safe.
Oh hell no, man! Come on, bro. El Poblado's not no like safe zone where it's like nothing's gonna happen to you if you stay here. Come on, bro. Come on.
We give you taxis to take right from Provenza so you can go straight to your house. Why are you walking 5 blocks to your house?
Them taxis dangerous as hell, though.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. Like they, you know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like it's.
Did y'all hear about the guy that got robbed? A couple of days ago, actually. He hopped in the airport. This was in Cartagena, actually. Shout out to the Colombian guy who made a story about that. He hopped in the taxi, or somebody picked him up, Well, somebody offered him a ride, like a taxi. You know, one of them loose taxi guys said, "Hey, you need a ride to your destination."
Yeah.
Not really a taxi, but they give you a ride, right? Those
Yeah,
people.
yeah, basically, and they finessed them and got them and robbed them and everything. You know?
Instead of going to the taxis outside of the airport that they cost a little bit more, but they show you how much they cost, and the people in the airport show you, hey, go in this taxi. You know why? Everybody's trying to save a penny.
Well, they spoke English too. The robbers spoke English, so I guess he just felt comfortable.
Again,
but you know what's funny? The very, very first time, and this is probably why I've been safe in Medellin ever since. The very first time I got to Medellin, one of those guys act like he was my Uber, right? But my hood kicked in right away, and I looked at him. I looked at his face, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" I was like, "Hold on." I looked at the tag. I was like, "Hell no, you ain't my Uber, bro." Like, Goodwood, put your ass on.
You put the phone next to his face like that. This ain't you, boy.
Yeah, I was like, nah. You know, my little spices, my hood sisters kicked in. All right, shout out to my man T-Mac with $10 Super Chase. It's been in Medellin almost 3 years. It's only dangerous when people do dumb shit, but don't want to take responsibility. No one can answer why foreign women travelers don't experience. Oh, that's a good point. He said no one can answer why foreign women travelers don't experience the same danger. That is very true. Women don't be having no issues in Medellin at all. I have yet to see a sister get drugged, robbed, or anything.
Women aren't so machismo that they're gonna walk home at 3:30 in the morning because they 6'2" and 190 pounds.
I mean, don't get me wrong now. Women get robbed left and right. It's just that I haven't heard any American women.
As it pertains to Colombia, yeah, I don't really hear it that often. I'm not gonna lie to you, or if at all.
Shout out to my man, that easy. We'll see Super Chat says, salute BMT. Get yourself an ice pack and a steak for your eye in advance. Flyboy way be capping, by the way. Yeah. You know, me and that got a little dope relationship. When we see each other, it's gonna be on. But shout out my man, that friendly little battle we got going on out there. I'm gonna show Nick how them boys from the South get down. Ain't that right, Flyboy? They don't be knowing about them boys in the South, boy. Fuck all that damn Muay Taekwondo bullshit. Grab your ass and throw your ass across the room. Hey, man. It's been a good show, man. Like I say, we've been talking about this for a minute. I mean, guys will still continue to go down to Colombia. Guys going to get drugged. It is what it is. Most of the time,
absolutely.
Guys don't lose their lives. They just lose all their belongings, and they lose, they know how to hack into your phones, take all your money at your bank account now. All we can say is be safe and be careful. I mean,
the thing about that BMT is this, yo, dog. There's like me, there's Zoe, there's so many other creators that tell you every time if you're going to somewhere like in Colombia, just delete the app off your phone.
Yeah, delete that shit.
But nobody wants. But again, you'll never get the majority of people to listen. You know why? Because everyone wants to be the man. Everyone wants to be. Oh, I know what to do. Nobody can just take heed and listen to somebody who's already been through that. So it's gonna continue to happen.
I mean, these videos don't go viral like that either, though, Flyboy. It'd be like the little.
My fault.
No, it just be like, the what goes viral are the women and the little people with the cameras, and they don't talk about the other side of it. Go ahead, Pat. My bad.
No, because my main issue is like, hey, even if people did take all the precaution that you advised, right, Flyboy, would that stop anything from happening?
The same way.
Let's just be real.
The same way it wouldn't in the States, but it's less likely to occur. You can't ever stop everything from happening. In the world, it's not possible to stop.
Exactly.
But the majority, you can't base everything on every incident. But the majority of the time, it will. If I'm not walking down the street with a chain, the majority of the time is people won't try to set me up. If I'm not drinking recklessly around a woman who I just met, the majority of the time I won't get scooped.
Hold on. Mr. Travolta say with a 125 peso, I think that's the peso.
Oh, that's nasty word.
He said, let's be honest, women don't experience the same danger abroad because they are broke. No one is going to rob them.
That's nasty word.
I mean, they don't experience the same danger in probably Colombia, but they do have, things that they have to worry about when traveling solo abroad. Definitely.
I heard they be getting got in Spain too. I heard women be getting their ass.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's the opposite in Spain. They get drugged in Spain. Women get drugged by the men in Spain.
That's wild.
The most women I've seen get pickpocketed in France. They be so unaware. I'm like, oh, you just took your wallet.
You know that, like, and that's the thing. I even tell my personal assistant, I'll be like, yo, you be walking like in La La Land. Like, you got to pay attention to your surroundings. Like, I hate that. Like, I'd be like, no, like
it's got to be.
Yeah, like watch, you know, your surroundings. And so many women that I know in Colombia has gotten robbed. They get robbed all the time in Colombia. They get robbed more than Colombia anywhere I know. They get their phones.
Again,
brand new iPhone too.
I think it's because you're in Atlanta. I'm in Newark, New Jersey. We accustomed to seeing this just growing up, so it's just in our system. But we get somebody who never did it before, and they're trying to explain it to them. It's almost impossible.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you where it really started though. It really started with them damn starter jackets in the 90s. Remember them starter jackets? When everybody was getting got. I had the Georgetown. I had the Georgetown one, bro. I had to run sometimes. Like, man, these motherfuckers trying to get me for my jacket. Shit.
All right, listen, man.
Yeah, man. But once again, guys, I appreciate both of y'all coming on, man. Like
no problem.
I just want to say we can't hope to save everybody. You're not going to be able to get everybody, but I feel as though we can help the majority of people as long as we keep bringing it up, having these conversations. The person who wasn't here for the last conversation we talked about this may have been here for this conversation, and now we save one person from getting got. So no matter how many times we have these conversations, it's going to always be great because of the fact that there's one less person who will most likely get scoped, get robbed, get drugged, simply because he watched BMT show, he heard the Flyboy way, he listened to Backpack Val, and he took a different decision.
That's a good point. That's a good
point. I agree with Flyboy way. Like that's it's a very optimistic way to look at things. You know what I mean? It's a possibility to where like we can hope that people do adhere to our message and move more safely when out in Colombia and whatnot. But I do feel like another alternate reality is that this only incentivizes, the criminals, right, to become smarter. You know what I mean? So as the travelers become smarter and more privy to Colombia, I think it incentivizes the criminals out there in Colombia to get with the times, become smart as well. Like, don't be surprised where 3 years down the line, you might have criminals listening into your live stream BMT that pertains to, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it might pertain to, like Cartagena or Medellin, but they might be in the bleachers watching, not saying a thing, but like, yo, this is what they're saying, this is what they be on. So I'm just saying, like, it's not far-fetched of a thought at all.
You know what's interesting though? Backpack, it's interesting you say that, man. Say that because one of the guys that was in the Oberland documentary that was kidnapped and brought over, the robbers were talking to an American on the other side of the other line. Like, he was an American and he was talking to them, like, telling them how to take all the money out the credit cards and stuff like that. So you never know. You never know. And that's the first time I heard that too. Not the first time.
I think I know what you're talking about too. When they robbed the like the Asian American looking dude, or
he looked Indian. Yeah, something.
Yeah, like Indian. Yep. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's it's scary. Yeah, you never know.
When I first got to Medellin, bro, like the brothers was like we were good. Nobody was getting drugged. Nobody was getting robbed. But they were doing
that. The camaraderie is A1.
They were doing like they was getting the Europeans though, like left and right.
What year was this BMT?
That had been before 2021.
Like 2020. It's right at 2020.
Do you think maybe because the internet and wasn't as big as it is now, where everybody's story being told, like maybe it was happening, but it wasn't being as exposed?
That could very well be that. That could very well be that.
That could very well be that. I'll put you this way, like, far as from just being out there during that time, I didn't really hear any. Everybody else getting drugged and robbed were like Europeans, guys from Belgium. I remember one guy was getting extorted for his cell phone, his iPhone. He was French. I'm like, you paying? Like, how you know what I'm saying? Like, so
he probably never said anything, right? He probably never complained or said anything. But I realized, in my opinion, a lot of the people who are going viral or telling their stories about being scoped are.
T-Mac makes a good point. With the 5 Super J says, personally, I prefer that people who complain about Colombia just stop coming. Find one Colombian city on the top 30 in the world's most dangerous. I think Bogota made the list, though. I want to say Bogota made the list. It was a city, but it wasn't Medellin. I want to say it was Bogota.
Definitely cities in the United States that made the list.
Yeah, I think Memphis, Baltimore. What was it? What's the city that Delhi from again?
St. Louis?
St. Louis.
St. Louis, something like that. Yeah, so you just got to move accordingly. But that's a good point, though, T-Mac. I mean,
statistics don't most of the time statistics don't lie.
I mean, when you actually look at, we put the stats up a few shows ago, and it was like less than 1% of the people that go to Medellin get robbed or killed or anything. It was a real small percentage.
Yeah, that was the time when you put up the deaths, and you was like how all the deaths are not linked to some of the natural deaths, and that's that episode.
Yeah, it was this one right here. It was like 29 out of 1.4 million. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. But the issue, like I was saying, is that the people now are basically, I dislike to say it, my opinion, people are getting famous for telling their scope or robbery stories.
Absolutely.
It's incentivizing more people to either come out with their story that happened or make a story up.
Now you got a point, Flyboy. Way some of these, I think maybe a few of these stories have been capped. Like as far as the YouTubers.
Oh man,
some of the YouTubers have been capped.
Shout out to the patella. Shout out to the broken patella. Let me stop.
Who you talking about, Bebe? Who you talking about, Bebe?
No. I'm letting go. You know what I'm talking about, though, BMT.
Let it go.
Flyboy knows what I'm talking about.
He'll get it later. Back.
You talking about a YouTuber that was faking the fuck or something?
On your channel too.
I mean,
I'm lost, man. You say he got drugged?
No.
Nah. He got chased. Remember, top of the mountain, jumped off. Dreads, the barber. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Your Flyboy's not funny. Let me stop.
Shout out to that BZ with the $11. I think that's a British pound. It says, oh man, BMT, you ran. I can teach you how to fight and build up your confidence. Join my Passportbros self-defense seminar. Now you see all this shit he talking, y'all. Y'all see it now, right? You see what he talking.
Yeah, at least he super chatted, man. You know, shouts to that.
Shout out my man Nat. I can't wait to run into him, bro. I'm showing a few things. I shout out to Mr. Travolta with 125. I forgot. I think is that the Swiss? That might be like the Swiss something. It's strange to see guys arguing that Colombia isn't dangerous. How many people in Thailand get drugged and robbed? Colombia is dangerous, guys.
No, Colombia is dangerous. Even Colombians will tell you Colombia is dangerous. So
let me respond to this here. The wealth
a fact, Travolta.
in Thailand is far different than the wealth gap in Medellin. Thailand, the majority of people are equal with the wealth. In Medellin, you got people who really got wealth, and you got people who really got shacks, living shacks. That is what I'm saying. That's what people consider dangerous. That opportunity zone between the wealthy and the dirt poor. That is not the same in Thailand. That's not the same in the Philippines. Most people, and from what I see, I've been there, and maybe BMT could talk because he's been there already. Most people are exactly around the same income. Am I wrong, BMT?
I mean, they Buddhists as well, man. It's just the whole culture is just so different. It's real different. Like it's not. It's a culture thing. It's like a culture thing. That's the best I can say it.
And yes, there are rich people in every country, but what I'm saying is that the people who live next to you, again, it's not that there's not wealthy people in Thailand. Of course there are. It's just that I can live on Calle Diaz. I can live on Calle Diaz in a 6 strata of Parque Yeres and in a big top mansion and be a multi-millionaire, right? And then I can walk 1 block down to what's that? Street 8, and I'm in strata 3. And the people are struggling to make rent. That's where the difference is. In Thailand, is not the people who are wealthy in Thailand, I would presume, live in the same area, right? It's not like right next door to the person who is wealthy. Because I know that's how it is in the States.
I think in Thailand, man, it's really like if you go to a place like the Sanctuary of Truth and you just see what they're taught, like it's like a culture thing. Like they're taught early on, like no stealing, no, don't do something that
Yeah.
you don't want.
That too.
You,
That too. I think so.
T-Mac says BMT ask people with opinions about Colombia if they have a visa or a cedula. Then ask the people who do. People claim to be experts but don't show credentials. All right. Nat Meese said there's a huge health gap in Thailand. It's culture.
I do think culture plays a big part, but I still think that the people, I don't know, I can't speak on kind of Thailand, but everywhere else I see, the people who make a lot of money don't really live next to where people that don't make a lot of money live, except for Medellin. Even in Barranquilla is not the same. Like you got the north of Barranquilla, or even the Cali, Colombia is not the same.
You know what's crazy? I was thinking about this, man, and maybe I'm got my tinfoil hat on right here, but it seems that countries that are like more like a monolith, like let's just say like all Japanese, all Thai, you know what I'm saying? Like it seems like
Homogenous, yeah.
Right. It just seems like their cultures is more like put together, or they don't tolerate the bullshit, and it's all of them, right? Versus mixed cultures, like you got black, you got Latino, you got European, you got everybody race mixing and all these mixes, and we all know, shout out to my Europeans, but they had a hell of a little thing going on in the dark ages, like some of that. It's just a lot of wildness going on in South America and shit, man, and North America. It's just like it's just violent, bro. Like at the end of the day, shit is just violent. Too many mixes, too many races.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's just too much shit going on. All right,
I can see it.
Mr. Volter says that's not correct. Shout out to you again for the super chat. That's not correct. The poverty of locals compared to foreigners in Thailand is a lot. We are hundreds of times richer than the average Thai.
That's not. I don't think that's what I said, but I can agree with that. I don't think what I'm saying is that the closivity of where people live, the wealthiest people of that country, the wealthiest people of Medellin live about 3 blocks away from some of the least poverty people of Medellin.
That's the same thing in America too, though. When you think about it.
That's what I said. It's the same thing in America. But I don't think I haven't seen from what our videos. I don't know. Maybe you could tell me more. That's why I said I lean to you, BMT. And I don't see in Thailand that's the same thing.
But even when you try to defend like whether or not Medellin is a safe city or whatever the case is, can you even walk through majority of Medellin neighborhoods and feel like nothing's gonna happen to you or whatever the case is? Like you know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about Medellin,
I gotta be honest with you. Because when I was looking for an apartment, I was walking through a bunch of different neighborhoods
during the day.
If you're during the day, if you Black or Latino, they not going to really, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you like a Black dude, they ain't really going to even look your way, bro. Like they don't even, unless you outwardly flashy or something like that, they're not even paying you no attention, bro. That's just what it is. Now, if you look European, you got blonde hair and blue eyes, or you look Asian, they're going to look your way straight up. That's what it is. That's just what it is.
Camouflage.
I'm just saying. They're not expecting most Black people to have money in South America. All right, T-Mac with a $5 super chat once again says stats show several USA cities are more dangerous than Colombia. Shot the Flyboy Cali video on Patrona Alvarez Festival. I attended.
Appreciate that, man. It was amazing, bro. Amazing thing to see again. When you see that part of Colombia, I don't want to feel like I'm defending Colombia, but I just want people to be inclusive. When I say
feel safer, you feel safer in Cali?
I didn't feel safer or not safer than either one.
Okay,
it's not a difference to me.
Okay,
like, I wouldn't walk around Cali at 3 o'clock in the morning, going from wherever I'm to party to the club. So it's going to always feel safe because I'm going to move that way.
Okay.
But why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that?
Because where I live in Newark, New Jersey, I'm not walking down the number blocks at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I copy. But you could do that. But you could do that on. You'll be able. Would you be able to do that in Jersey Shore? Would you?
In Bankhead? No.
He said Jersey Shore. He didn't say Bankhead.
I'm not walking through Bankhead at 1 o'clock.
No, not Bankhead. I'm talking about Jersey Shore. Like 3 o'clock in the morning, Jersey Shore. Like, would you have that same fear? Would you apply that same methodology? That's all I'm asking.
on the boardwalk? No, because there's cops and stuff there. It's set up to be a tourist area that's open all night.
Because all right. So there's some sort of acknowledgement. All right, it's not safe if I were to step outside right now. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some sort of acknowledgement.
It's not safe. I'm comparing to my city. It's not safe in my city. It's not smart to walk down the street at 3 o'clock in the morning in Newark, New Jersey on the back street.
And then I bet. And then I just said another city. I gave another city as an example.
Yeah, but you went over from a city to a tourist area. That's not the same. I can walk it's safe to walk inside, and I could be wrong. I haven't heard anybody get robbed. It is safe to walk inside El Poblado and Parque Yeres until 4 o'clock in the morning. I seen somebody walking at 5 o'clock in the morning in El Poblado, in Parque Yeres. It's safe. 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, as long as you're in there.
Diaz isn't safe, bro.
No, I said
as long as you're there.
As long as you're in the park, because there's certain areas that's set up for that. But when you leave outside the areas in any country, that doesn't make that country dangerous. That just makes you put yourself in a place of opportunity.
What up, Nat?
Hey, what's up, brothers? How y'all doing, man?
Chilling. What's good with you, good brother?
I'm good. How's my audio? Is right?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
All right, no doubt. Look, the whole opportunity thing, I get that, but some cultures are just more violent, and a lot of it's due to, how people got there, their socioeconomic statuses. Homogenous societies tend to be less violent. I'm in Europe, obviously, and there's poor people. There's like projects maybe 5 minutes away from me, but you could walk through there and no one's gonna try to rob you. There's no gunshots. There's none of that. When you have these societies that were built on certain things, I don't want to get into no real black stuff or whatever, but you're going to have robbery and all this wealth gap kind of stuff when people act differently. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just opportunity, bro. Some places are just grimy.
How did they get there that way though? Because the lack of
it doesn't matter how it got that way. It's that way.
So you don't think that the lack of opportunity, the availability to see people doing wealthy, doesn't make people want more opportunity? And then when they get a chance to take opportunity, they take it. They're not naturally violent people.
Well, it's not that they are naturally violent people. I would never put that on any human group. However, there's pressure cookers, and I think culture will trump that. So if it's not culturally acceptable to cut someone in line, if it's not culturally acceptable to speak and scream loud on a train, then people will tend not to do it. Can you get robbed in Thailand? Absolutely. Ask anybody who's ever been if they haven't walked out their condo at 4 o'clock in the morning and felt Gucci. Now try that in any part of South America. It won't happen. Literally, there were spots that I was gonna go to, and I didn't go because it's just dangerous. And you can play the whole you got to know how to move thing, but understand this: you're gonna have less places to move based on how you look, based on how you speak. And the black thing is okay. It's a little bit of camouflage, but I'm telling you like this: Colombians that live abroad still stand out in Colombia when they go home. All right. Jamaicans that live abroad, when they go to Jamaica, they say they got that fire and shine. You know what I'm saying? So they know that you're getting money. So it's only a matter of time, if you're not insulated locally, where you may be on somebody's plate.
That's facts. It's all the way facts. Obstacles to opportunity. What's good, bro?
Yo, what's goody? What's goody? Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir.
Good, man.
Yo, what's up?
I think we all know who you voting for, but go ahead. What's up, man?
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Nack Neezy in the building. Shout out to the big homie. But also,
shout out my brother.
Man, Nack ain't no big homie, man. He ain't no big homie.
Yeah, man. Me and him will go back. So shout out to Nack, yo, all day, every day. But yo, Nack got a point, man. It's about culture and it's about a bunch of other things. But let's get into it. Even the guy right here, when he said several U.S. cities are more dangerous. Well, let's say one, Rio's more dangerous than Colombia, just statistically, right? I'm talking about data. I'm not talking about how I feel, right? Data-wise, Rio is going to be more dangerous. Also, too, in America, we say don't go to the hood. Like, don't go to dangerous places. Nobody tell you to go to the dangerous place. Nobody on here be like, yo, you should wear your chain in the most dangerous place. You should wear it in the hood. Nobody's saying that. Nipsey Hussle had to learn the hard way. So at the end of the day, you got to be cautious, period, right? So it's crazy to say, statistically, U.S. cities are more dangerous than Colombia. Yeah, I mean, some cities are going to be more dangerous than some other cities in Colombia, yeah. But I wouldn't tell you to go to dangerous Chirac and get your wig split, and especially most of y'all blacks. Y'all ain't about that life. Stop acting like most of y'all thugs and gangsters. Most of y'all are not. Y'all just average people, blue-collar workers, just trying to make a living. So at the end of the day, we characterizing every black man as somebody who's raised in the hood and could scrap with bare knuckles and sling bricks and know how to move on the streets. That's not the case. Come on, man.
I think that's why I said
and you know what? It's my bad for it, but it's so insulting when you have like candidates running for offices. They always bring up like the black crime. Like, yeah, we're gonna do some weed laws for y'all black dudes or something. You be like, damn, no,
everybody smoke weed.
Yeah, like everybody got smoke weed or something like.
Yeah, right.
But and that's why I always tell people. I told people before, it's not really the hood mentality, which a lot of people, it's easy to say it is. It is a mentality of understanding poverty because you lived in it. Because every place of poverty is not the hood. Every place of poverty is not the hood, and everyone in the hood. Because I'm from the hood. Everyone in the hood ain't the same. But the majority of people in the hood is just trying to make it out. But they understand poverty because they was trying to make it out. Some people took other routes to make it out. So, whereas that doesn't make the hood completely dangerous, but there are some people who would take opportunity they wouldn't take, maybe because, like Knox said, the culture. Some black people in the hood have family cultures and majority of them have family values, like in Atlanta, in DC, and even in Baltimore. But they base everything on the people who take the opportunity. And that's why they say, oh, Medellin is dangerous, because of the few people who do take the opportunity when they see somebody doing something like walking down the street with a chain on.
A few people? So I got my man
Shotgun. U.S. government. I'm sorry. Go on, brother.
We got my man Shotgun with a Canadian $20. Appreciate that. He says, you can walk in Thailand or China at 3 a.m. at night. Flyboy way, stop lying like everywhere is the same. That was to you, Flyboy. I don't think you were saying that, but
I said it's the same. I was just saying that in certain environments you don't do. It's kind of like the young guy here was saying. In certain environments you don't do certain things. You just know it. It's a fact of whether or not somewhere is completely dangerous. You just know you don't go to Chirac flaunting the chain. You don't go to these places doing this stuff because you know opportunity is going to be there for somebody to try to take that stuff from you.
AK is dangerous. Like, why are we beating around the bush? Come on, Tom. Come on, man.
What makes you opportunity is your passport. The fact that you took a more than $500 flight to go there, they know that you have more wealth than them. And it's not about just chains and flossing. I remember these young Puerto Rican kids, and shout out to Puerto Rico, would say that they would wait at the train station in East New York to rob the regular looking dudes for their Beats headphones back in the day. So you could move how you want to move, but people know who got money from who don't. And when you look at certain countries, all you got to do is look at the travel advisory, bro. You know, I think when we get up here and we try to, sanitize reality in terms of crime and opportunity and economic wealth gaps, what we do is a disservice to brothers that are actually traveling. It's dangerous, period. When you gotta, don't take this taxi, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Guess what? You're jumping around all the danger spots, right? One day you're gonna slip. You're gonna slip. I chose not to get a procedure, a medical procedure for my daughter in Colombia, and we just said, fuck it, forget it. We're not gonna do it because the risk of even going there was greater than the reward of said procedure. And what I'm talking about is when they test a woman's water, you know what I'm saying, to see if the kid would have some sort of defect or whatever. We said, look, we'll leave it in God's hands. I ain't going all the way to Colombia to do that crap. And it's been like that since the beginning of time in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? It's
And
never been known as a safe place. Brazil has never been known as a safe place. There was a video series back in the day called Faces of Deletion. And Brazil was on there crazy. And it wasn't just the
yeah,
locals, it was the cops. It was the cops, bro.
Yeah, the cops
yo,
doing the damn.
yo, and I don't know if I said it before on this channel, but I was like, bro, so I love Brazil. I love the food, the people, the vibes. I love the place. But I'll be damned now that I'm in my point in my life and deal with that stress and that hazard shit that come with it. I give you an example. I worked in the embassy in Brazil. So I've seen all the video footage of the cartel, of just crime across the board, because the police departments will turn it into the security officer at the U.S. Embassy. Bro, you would never see crimes committed ever like that in the United States of America. We just not even on that type of time. Like people dipped in acid and all types of crazy stuff.
Shit.
And you'll be looking at it like, yo, what? This is violence down here. It takes on a whole different toll. And so when you're telling people, man, it ain't no problem, you just gotta watch it. It ain't from the hood, ninjas to shoot you. They don't do that though. They don't do that. And this joint is entirely different. Anybody can catch hands. Your girlfriend, your side piece, anybody could be dipped in acid. So it's a whole different ball game. I'll give you another example. When I was in Thailand and we were teaching over like 500 women training, like combat, just self-defense. We had the American women and we had the Thai women. We had to separate the two groups because the white women and American women mostly were telling them, you better beat that man up if he tries to rob you. And Thai women were like, look, take everything I got, beat me up, but I can't eye gouge. I can't take the key and, stab. I just can't do it because Buddhist traditions and culture just teaches them to be a different way throughout life. Am I saying there's no murders or no deletions? No. I'm just saying people just organize and move different based off of their cultural norms. So it's not easy for them to come out and like, bro, you could do some crazy stuff in Thailand, and Thai people, it takes a lot for them to fight you. Like, it takes a lot. It's not that easy. You got to really push the edge for Thai people to really come out and try to box you.
Run out on that damn bill.
Yeah, you'll learn real quick, but you'll just get static. So what I'm just saying is there's massive amounts of differences, but the crime that happens in South America, bro, I've seen the footage. People don't see that. So they just talking.
In that footage, was it happening to each other or tourists?
Oh, all of it, all above, all the above.
That would be a big difference.
Bro, we was leaving. When I was leaving Brazil, man, we had the car pull up on us and try to do a carjacking. Good thing we had an armored up vehicle. They came out with AK-47s, broad daylight, and just try to jack us because we had a big Yukon Denali up in armored joints. But always on the embassy blotter, we get emails about people just getting deleted because we have to be careful of house burglaries, which house robbings is super high. That's why even if you go there like South Africa, a requirement to get a loan is the electrical fence wiring in your house. The bank's like, yo, we won't even give you a loan unless you got electrical fence on your house to protect you from the robberies, because house criminality and robbery is extra high there. So we had to have that. Number one, security. Like, it's really bad in these countries. If you go to Brazil, you'll see it. People got barbed wires and electrical fences. So it's not light. It's nothing easy. It's nothing sweet.
You know what's crazy, man? Even in DR, you see burglar bars on like the 20th floor. I'm like, damn, motherfuckers is climbing up that high, like the break in.
Even in Costa Rica, which is not as dangerous, but every single house you're going to come across is wired up. Every single one.
Shout out to Mr. Travolta with the Filipino peso 250. I really appreciate that. It says, Nat Measy, you're speaking sense today. You turned a new leaf, but you're 100% right. It's a lot to do with the culture as well. In Thailand, you have serious poverty, but I always feel safe there. Shout out, Mr. Travolta.
I mean, BMT, when you going to Thailand again so you can catch these hands?
I thought you were supposed to be fighting. I thought you were supposed to be fighting yoga, man. Why you want those hands on me, man?
Yeah.
No. I want to do a hard sparring match with you because you keep, selling wolf tickets. Yoga was scared, but I know you ain't scared. What's up,
No,
brother?
I
You gonna shoot the hand?
would 100% hop in the ring with you. 100%.
Oh, all right. When you
Word?
going?
Yeah,
When you going?
Hell yeah.
When you going? When you going?
I might pull up like around spring or something like that. You know, I got
All
my
right, I'll see you there.
situation here right now, but you know, yeah, bro, you
No doubt.
understand. I'm a fighter, bro. So it's nothing to me to hop in the ring.
Who gonna win BMT though?
I don't know. I have no idea who's gonna win. It's not even. You know what? It's not even about.
No, I know I'm gonna win.
It's not even about.
Yeah,
No. Listen. It's not even really about who's gonna win. It's just. I'm gonna throw him around a little bit. That's what it's gonna be. You know? Throw him around a little bit.
BMT. I don't know if you know, but I train Greco-Roman wrestling.
I could kill that.
I do it all, bro. So and I went to school in Pennsylvania, right?
I don't
Which has
care.
a huge wrestling culture.
No, I care, but I don't. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Okay,
like
brother.
saying
I'll see you.
I'm not gonna lie. BMT looked like he could throw mean overhand though. Like, you gotta watch out for that.
Hey.
Overhand.
I don't know. From the video I seen, he look like he's in shape, but BT got like at least 30 pounds on him. So I don't know, man.
We'll see. Hey, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's all love, brother. But you know, if you wanna step in the ring for like 3 hard sparring rounds or whatever, you know what I'm saying, we could do that.
I'm not really a boxer like that, bro. But we can go in there.
Oh, you want to wrestle?
I mean, like, he's a pro wrestler.
Oh, you want to slam it? You trying to slam?
Wrestle.
I mean, yeah, I was playing on slamming, but I can box too. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
All right, brother. So I need
to exercise, man. I need to exercise.
All right, brother. So let's get back to the topic. I just want to get that out because you was, you know what I'm saying? What you were saying.
Right.
Yeah, Medellin is dangerous. Colombia is dangerous.
Flyboy, it's. I hope we convince you that it's dangerous, brother. It's not just opportunity. No.
Is there danger somewhere? Of course, there's danger all around the world, but is it dangerous?
Hey, Flyboy for president. You like a politician, bro. You know how to.
He's gonna stick to his guns, man.
You know how to. He know how to do that thing, boy, for real.
What determines the danger is how you move in these environments. Again,
but like,
he's Kamala Harris.
You can't even walk 50% of the city. Like, there's a small fraction of all those cities in which like it's tourist friendly. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about Medellin, Cartagena, I don't know too much about Cali, but Santa Marta, like there's only a small fraction of like neighborhoods you could go to and actually feel safe. Other than that, the vast majority of it is a no-go. It's a straddle 1 or 2. Like, let's just keep it 100.
You're talking about Colombia in general.
Yeah, I'm talking about Colombia in general. Like, when you talk about the big cities of Colombia, it's always a common theme. Like, majority of those neighborhoods in those big cities aren't tourist friendly at all. Vast majority.
All right, shout out to Quasi Samson with a 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, "Is this the travel channel, or do y'all think all of us should just stay in the U.S.? White people travel everywhere, and I thought y'all brothers did too."
We're not. Come on, like we're saying, like, proceed with caution. You got to just recognize the danger that's in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, this is real, recognize real.
Real recognize violence.
What's wrong with us telling us? Like, what's wrong with us telling people that hey, Colombia is a dangerous country?
Because
be careful.
It's the danger without taking the fact that the people who are getting robbed and stuff are not taking any kind of responsibility for what they do or what they did wrong, what they didn't do. And that's
probably. But you know what? Those same people, they travel to other countries for them. My fault. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Let's say, okay, let's go with your position. Okay, they do. They take accountability, right? They weren't Spider-Man. They didn't see the shadows from the wall. They didn't detect the punch that was coming from the right. No, let's say they do take, but the fact remains that it's still highly dangerous. That's it. Just take that
exactly.
Like, what the heck? You know, he moved. Oh, go ahead. Because if he moves like that in Switzerland, you saying it's the same? You saying if he moves like that in Switzerland, he's gonna get plucked.
You know how to move in that environment. That is taking accountability to know what to do when you get there. If you go to Switzerland and when you go to Medellin and you didn't do any research and you go there looking like Switzerland and then something happens to you, that doesn't make Medellin dangerous. That means you didn't take the precautions that everybody's been telling you to take the precautions. So
my God.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. That does
I know I can't walk into I can't go to Magic City and walk into the club and do the same things I can do if I walk into the library because it's two different places, right? It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, they're metaphors, boy. She got me thinking now. I'm like, damn, okay.
Because if you're trying to
no, bro.
If one place is supposed to move this way, you can't take that same mentality and move everywhere around the world.
Bro,
same.
I'm
For
example,
and if you go to a Muslim country,
That
right?
part is true. Okay, I can agree with that. Yeah.
I can't smoke anything. Sorry, I can't smoke anything in a Islamic country, right? But I can come to the United States and do it. But if I take that United States mentality of what I can do in the United States and I go around the world with it, guess what happens to me?
I mean, that's pretty obvious. You have to know the landscape, but to just dead this whole argument, brother, show me
and the
another
information we're
country.
giving you is that
the
information we're giving you about it being dangerous. Oh, go ahead.
In the America, right, where there are gangs that are targeting people to knock them unconscious with powder that comes from a plant and then delete or deplete their resources. Tell me one.
I know places in LA where you can go, and if you go and they'll target you if you're a tourist, you're wearing the wrong color, and they'll rob you.
No, that's not what I asked you, brother. There are syndicates. There are syndicates that specifically target everyone on this panel, and it's to knock you unconscious. Hold on, brother. I'm gonna let you speak. What I'm saying is that crime is crime, but in Colombia specifically, there are crimes that are directly tied to a man's desire to be with a woman, right? That's why it's hyper dangerous for brothers who are traveling for that. Yes, there's going to be different scenarios everywhere, but you can't just ignore the fact that these countries are dangerous. There's travel advisories. There's movements to stop people going there for every. Bro, it's extremely dangerous.
Man,
you can just look at the facts, bro.
Hey, Knock, I know you've been out of the United States. I know you've been out of the United States for a long time, Knock, so you may not be aware. But there are women who set dudes up all over the United States, in Atlanta, in New Jersey, in LA. Maybe they don't use scope.
Wait.
Use to set them up.
But let me get that fly.
But wait, now let me ask him, Fly. If that's the case, you just said there's places in Atlanta that are dangerous, right?
No, I'm saying there's stuff where people do the exact same thing. But
but you said it was dangerous though, right?
No, I said if there's danger, if you go there, you don't do what you.
Okay, so you're establishing that there's danger in Atlanta, right?
It's based on.
Wait, hold on, no, don't start tap dancing.
I literally say dangerous if you go there and you don't know how to move. Yes, it's going to be dangerous.
Bet.
It's a cause and effect.
Okay, but yo, Fly, you definitely can't be. You shouldn't be security for Martin Luther King. Because, first of all, the South is going to be different than the North, right? And the security parameters in which you would establish, because there's dangers and different type of threats in different territories are going to be different. So what we're establishing is that there is danger in Medellin in Colombia. And let's establish what that danger looks like. Now, Nat gave you an example about the females and et cetera, right? Then let's say you move into another place and then there's different types of danger, right? Then you're going to move and think about what that means in that country. So every place has its different levels of violence, and you need different levels of security to deter that violence because it shows up in different forms. So what we're doing is establishing that Colombia has a high level of criminality and violence, and this is what you need to be careful. Now, when you go to Switzerland, right? Let's say you in Switzerland and you going to move like you move in Colombia. No, because you'll be looking crazy. They were like, bro, we in Switzerland. What are you talking about? That's not a crime that's carried out in this country as if it was carried out in Colombia. So again, we're just establishing that. We didn't say don't go anywhere, don't travel. You can't just say there's crime everywhere, so I need to no.
I said it. What I simply said was the danger comes from you not being aware of how to move in certain places. And you said, oh, well, you can't move this way and this way. That's the same thing I'm saying. But I'm saying if there is danger, it's not because it's danger there. It's because you do not know how to move in that place. If you know how to move in that place, that danger does not exist for you.
Wait, hold on. The thing about danger is that
So wait,
lurks around every corner.
guns don't
Wait,
exist.
hold
The
on, hold on, hold
cartel
on.
won't exist if I know how to move.
Right, if you know how to
Yeah,
move,
exactly.
right?
Basically,
You
so that's
can't
what
move
Bro,
away
that was
from
the
danger.
wildest thing I ever heard on this channel, bro.
everyone's saying it's not dangerous.
Wait, hold on. I got some
Flyboy.
stats here. Check
It's like,
this
nah,
out.
this guy watches too much
Well,
BNT. I can't
what the
rob him.
deletion rate? You know what the deletion rate per capita in Colombia is? It's 25.4%. The deletion rate in America is only 6%. How many times bigger is America than Colombia?
Like 100.
Colombia is dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. DR has very dangerous spots. Wherever you have poverty and economic wealth gaps, you're going to have a high sense of danger. When you have different cultures added to that mix, then it's going to go even higher. You can't tell people you got to know how to move. That's a given. Everyone knows how to move. You're waiting for the elevator in the PJs, and two dudes wait for you to press what floor you going, and you better jump off that elevator because you're about to get robbed. We get it, but you can't say know how to move. You're trying to play hopscotch around the danger. You're eventually gonna slip.
And when you slip, it's because what? Because you didn't take the right steps, right? You didn't.
Not all the time. Not all the time. No. You could have just made a wrong turn somewhere. Like it could have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Come on, Flyboy. Come on.
Again, we're talking about you guys are talking about.
So we're talking about Colombia, right? For example, if a motor car just runs up on you, points a gun at you, and says, "Give me all your stuff," are you necessarily in the wrong because you just happen to be walking outside at that moment in time? Come on, bro. And that's Colombia. It happens quite often there.
Wait. Here's the issue. You guys are based on individual circumstances. I'm based on the majority of the time. I only go in the majority because you guys are talking about.
You're only assuming. All right. Okay. My fault.
Doesn't because the majority of people go to Colombia and not getting robbed. The majority of people will go to Brazil and not getting drugged. The majority. If you want to point out exceptions, cool. But we don't live in a world where we point out exceptions. We live in a world where we go by the majority so that the majority of us can move the right way. And that's where I feel the biggest difference is. Because the majority
That's where you just killed your whole argument, bro. Because in this space, it's a travel space, and a lot of brothers go specifically to a lot of these countries for women. There are criminal organizations that are dedicated to nothing more than deleting you of your money, your organs sometimes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference because you can't just talk about regular tourism. This tourism that these people will never see those sides, right? But then when you're talking about this space, these guys go to the danger zone. So you got to say that it's dangerous. So Flyboy, real quick, do you speak Spanish?
Sí, habla español. Yo hablo idioma.
No.
Well, that last one was a little suspect, so I know you don't speak Spanish.
Hey, wait, hold on. I speak Spanish too. El Niño, El Gante,
Exactly.
Negro, Tebe de Caso.
¿Qué tú quieres,
Come on,
mujer?
man.
Si
Stop
se
it.
blow la. Oh, no.
That low level of Spanish is not going to allow you to be able to pick up on certain cues. You could speak the Queen's English and then go to Brooklyn, and when somebody say, "Yo, hand me the blick," you won't have an idea what they're talking about. Oh yeah, we about to go on a jukes. You have no idea. So if your Spanish isn't local and you don't understand street language, as it relates to danger, you might as well be speaking Chinese.
And here's the problem.
You're in the street.
You're going these places where the street element is at. I'm telling you.
No.
That's not what you're going with. The danger. You're having the same conversation I had earlier about staying out of the places that you play. Why am I going to the street place when I make enough money not to have to do that?
Okay.
Wait, but that's the thing. The danger goes to the place with the money.
Yeah.
I lived in a very
absolutely.
nice neighborhood.
Colombians travel.
Hold on. Yo, check this out. I lived in a neighborhood. I owned a house in a neighborhood where it was they called it a barrio de police, right? So it was a police neighborhood. Everybody there, somebody in their family was in the police. So guess what? That's where everybody had the nice cars. So guess what? That's where they did their burglaries. That's where they waited around the corner for you to put. I'm not gonna say the island. Most people who know me know what it is, but that's what they would get you. So
Can
you go to where the money is.
Can you relate it to somebody who's not going over there with nice cars or jewelry, like a tourist who's not going to be doing the same thing and going to be fitting that same thing? Because you're talking about locals. We're not.
No, these are locals. These are locals. So now, when you add an element of people who, don't know the layout and are going for what many people in those societies consider nefarious reasons, and you're stepping into the pressure cooker of the underworld, understand you just increase your chances of getting got tenfold. When you walk around and you don't blend in at all, brother. You go down looking like an extra from a G Unit video in parts of the world where they're like,
come on, man.
Where they're like, yo, this dude. No, it's no disrespect because my hats are huge as well. You can see my profile. We go there and then it's like, oh, this dude is from New York. This dude is from America. So we stick out based on our swag, your socks, and how you rock your shit and your shorts. You're saying I am not from here, and therefore you're making yourself a target.
And you know what I'm doing? I'm going to the club. I'm catching the Uber back home. You know what I'm doing? I'm staying in section 6. And you know what I'm doing? I'm going to more of the high end stuff and staying in the section. I'm doing stuff like that. You know why? Because
it's dangerous.
No, because
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Go ahead.
No, you know I love you, Flyboy. You know I love you.
Flyboy, I don't know if you want to respond to this or not, man. Mr. Boto 125 Philippine peso says, no disrespect, Flyboy, but you're arguing like a female. You have the need to be right despite facts. Colombia is very dangerous. There is a high risk.
See, but he's saying Colombia is very dangerous, but we're specifically talking about Medellin. And that's another thing that everyone does. They specifically talk about Medellin. They're not talking about Cali. They're not talking about Barranquilla. But if I go to Chirac and I say the United States is dangerous because I've been to Chirac and they've been shooting all day, that's a misconception. That's not an inclusive thought. So that's what we gotta stop.
Colombia dangerous.
That's why I quoted 25.4% deletion rate in Colombia as opposed to 6% in America.
But
that's alarming.
Dangerous.
That's alarming as hell.
You should be alarmed.
So you're telling me a quarter of the people get murdered? Like, that's crazy.
This is just one thing I want to say real quick, Flyboy. Look, it's everything. Everything is accurate. Everything is true. So it could be dangerous in this place, and the danger levels are all different. That's one thing, right? And then I'm big on personal accountability too. I'm not, man, it was just dangerous and that happened. No, there were some things you got caught slipping, or there was mistakes that you made. So I agree with you about that. Personal accountability on how you move, right? Move wisely, move smart, right? So both of those are true. But I'm not going to say because I'm alert and I'm aware of these schemes or what's happening that there's no danger now just because I'm alert and I'm protecting myself. The danger exists. I'm just alert now. And I think both of them need to be talked about. How you move and how dangerous that location is, and specifically what city and what's the schemes and what's the issues. All that together creates, boom, this is the guidance, move wisely from there.
Okay, I can agree with you on that, but let's say this. You would agree that if you do move correctly, it makes it less dangerous, right?
You said if you move correctly, it makes it less dangerous?
Yes.
For you. It makes it less dangerous for you, but the place is still dangerous. You understand what I'm saying?
Again,
if I move wisely,
because
it makes it less dangerous for me, yes, but the next sucker who don't move like me is dangerous for that sucker. You get what I'm saying?
If the whole world is dangerous as it is, the whole world is dangerous as it is, then there's no need to keep saying it's dangerous because...
No, you do. You just still need to point out the objective truth that it is dangerous and people got guns and people are being deleted. If you skip past that, it makes no sense. I know that. I'm just moving smart, right? The embassy has, so the embassy don't need to have security alerts. What they need to do is just say the whole world's dangerous, right? And then therefore that's it. No, they have levels. Yeah. They have reconsidered travel. They have this and they have that because they're looking at different places and different factors and they're determining, hey guys, it might not be wise to travel to this place specifically right now because of these facts. They don't say, hey, It's all the same. There's crime everywhere. It doesn't matter. It does matter.
All right, I want to welcome my man Quasi to the show. What up, Quasi?
Yo, what's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, man. Like me, I'm looking at this because I'm a follower of the channel. And me personally, I was born in South America, Guyana. So I lived there, lived in Canada, lived in New Jersey, lived in Brooklyn. Now I live in Atlanta. The safest place probably might have ever been when I was growing up was probably either Guyana or Canada. And Canada ain't safe no more. Like I go back there now and there's certain parts I'm told not to go to, but I still will go to Canada. I think at the end of the day, I guess you could draw a line like, do you want to go there or not go there? Are we trying to tell people right now, don't go to Colombia at all, period? It's not worth it? Because there's brothers there that I know personally that own clubs out there and open up a second one, a third, a fourth. Brother there just sent me like 5 photos of chicks he was just messing with. Hey, I'm going back in December. Colombia. So it's like, I guess you got to be clear on what exactly you're trying to say. Just saying someplace is dangerous or someplace is dangerous. Obviously, we black, yo. We know what economics and racism has done to black people around the world. We know what it's done to countries around the world. And when you add poverty, poverty is usually the common denominator with violence. So anywhere there's poverty, you better be careful of violence. There's very few places where that's not the thing that you do. Because we're people. If we don't have, we eventually take if we starve. So at the end of the day, I guess this is a travel channel. I thought this is influencing people to travel. But you got a lot of brothers out here that there's a country that a lot of people are making money, traveling in and out, coming back safe, coming back with whatever they want. Brother just hit me up. A couple brothers I know he retired, bought a condo in Cartagena for $170,000. Loving it out there. Ain't leaving. Tired of America. And, and to be honest, America in about 30 or 40 years is going to be, if you're talking about just facts, it's going to be hard for people to just retire. Just retire. Just live a basic life and retire. Like the real estate market in other countries, you could even say the safe one where you at, because it seems like everybody here got a country that they agree is safe, okay, and is cheap and affordable. You might have to end up there just to retire. As we're just talking about people in general that don't happen to make it rich, or don't happen to have a steady income, or don't meet that threshold. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about HOA fees, property taxes, all that stuff might get you up out of your crib when you're 70 or 80 years old, where it might not in other countries. So I'm just trying to see, are people trying to say, look, just don't go here, period? Where are you going to draw the line and say, just don't go there, period, besides a place that's like war-torn, obviously like Afghanistan or Syria or
No, because there ain't no dangerous there. Ain't no danger in a war-torn country. It's long as I know what I'm doing and know how to move, ain't no war, right? I could just move there and it don't even matter no more.
As long as you know
come on, guys.
As long as you know where not to go. You think there's not a safe in there? You think there's not somewhere where that stuff doesn't go down? You got to know where. But let me
look, bro. The only thing I'm saying is both could be true at the same time. That's what. Stop thinking so one-track minded. Both of them can be true at the same time. That's it.
Okay.
And then nobody's telling you not to travel. Just know that, and then keep it moving. You make the decision. You a grown man. But at the end of the day, somebody else is going to tap you on your shoulder and say, hey, just watch out for this, this, and this. It could be pretty dangerous if you're not up to speed, and it'll still be an issue. So always be on the lookout. And then you'll say, yo, good look. Thanks for looking out. Thanks for the information. That's it. And then you decide. If the racially ambiguous big booty broads is worth your life, then go ahead.
Racially ambiguous big booty broads.
I mean, that's what when you say that, you're saying don't go. When you say that, you're basically saying don't go.
No, we're saying that like we're just informing you that the country is dangerous. Exactly. The decision's upon you at the end of the day. Take the information as you will. You know what I mean? That's all. That's all. But like, hey, if no one's gonna be told that Colombia isn't dangerous, this, that, and the third, understand that there's gonna be a lot more stories coming out of people getting drugged and robbed. Like people need to be aware of this information prior to going.
But the baseline is that the world is dangerous. The world is dangerous if you don't move correctly. That's and he said both of them could be right, but that's all I've ever said. The world. I'm not going to single out Colombia because the people who are getting this stuff done to them haven't been moving correctly.
No, but all right, but like
No,
as we're in
that's
this
victim
space,
blaming, bro.
exactly. But as we're in this space, and Colombia is a big talking point amongst this space. Like we have that social responsibility as influencers, content creators, to give people both sides of the truth. You know what I mean? Whether you want to be the person to do it or not, like it's gonna have to be done regardless. Like people have to be aware of certain information that's coming out of Colombia. And brothers are
Well,
going out there getting drugged and robbed and killed out there on a weekly basis. Like we have to be privy to that.
I mean, if you're telling me I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna instantly get drugged and robbed, that's one thing. There's millions of people going there. Deion Sanders just said it on national TV. Hey, I'm going to Colombia for my off break. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are we here just to say we're gonna single out a country and we're gonna call it too dangerous to go to, or are we gonna just be like, okay, this is what you look at in this country? Because from what I understand, if I go to England, I gotta make sure I don't get stabbed somewhere. I gotta make sure that certain places it ain't just 100% safe. Stabbings happen all the time. Andrew Tate, who's a very famous person, gets on the internet and says, I'm not in England because they keep stabbing people. Are you guys going to England? Isn't it safe to go to England? And he's saying, I'd rather move to Romania than stay in England because it keeps getting stabbed.
Yeah, Romania, England, and then Colombia is apples to oranges. Yeah, like
we could talk about other places. We're just talking about Colombia.
Colombia.
That's it. Like you want to talk about Japan, you want to talk about Antarctica, you want to talk about the dangers of Antarctica, and you got to be careful of the penguins. I mean, like we could talk about it all, but at the end of the day, we're just talking about Colombia. We're not trying to point Colombia out. We're not saying don't go, but even the embassy keep
somebody
people
here
alert.
did say don't go.
Wait, hold
Somebody
on.
here said don't go.
That person.
He had a life-threatening illness, and he said, "I'm not going."
Okay, cool.
Like if I had a life-threatening illness, I think I would make sure. Like, why is there a million? Like Andre from Love Crossing Borders puts out the numbers. There's like 1 million to 2 million people going to Colombia every single year, and 100 people get jacked. At some point, are we really playing the percentages? Because that is like still a low
but
percentage.
What I'm saying,
but the supply outweighs the demand. But the supply.
But what I'm saying is, it's the embassy still going to give you the notification. When I went there to do my tour at the embassy in Colombia, they still told you about what's that joint, that powder called again, that they be hitting you with? Scopolamine. All right, they still gave you a brief about it, right? They didn't say get back on the plane, don't come here to do your tour, run away. So they're just informing you of the dangers that exist. And somebody's like, what the heck is a scopolamine or whatever the heck? And then it's like, okay, let's educate you about it. You know about it and you're aware about it. Protect yourself against it. Have fun. Enjoy your stay in Colombia. There we go.
I was probably the first person that said I came up with the boycott Medellin movement. I'm saying stay out of certain cities in Colombia until the governments do right by the tourists. The governments really have the impact that's needed to make people travel or feel safe when they travel. You're never going to be 100% safe. But what I've seen is that in these spaces, when brothers get caught up in a lot of these places, they're looked at as like, oh, well, you had it coming because you came out here doing some F crap. You know what I'm saying? So I said, yo, hit them in the pockets until the government does right by the tourists, because y'all got to look out for the tourists because they're bringing them money. But the type of tourism in travel spaces, I'm not saying any one group, is frowned upon by a lot of the locals. Even if the locals are some of the biggest purveyors of it, and those are facts, they still was like, do what we say, not what we do type of deal, right? So I said, stay away from it. We hear the saxophone on Razor Rays. You hear DC Born Rob. I'm like, DC Born Rob puts out all of these stories, but then he never says, hey, you know what? Y'all need to just fall back on this place. It's always you know how to move, and then he keeps telling you more stories. He keeps telling you more stories. I'm gonna land with this. Someone came to my house. Hold on, let me land and then I answer your question. And they tried to sell me a home, like a doorbell camera, right? And my stupid ass is, nah, we don't get break-ins in these neighborhoods. He's like, yes, you do. He said, that's exactly why I'm here, because we looked at the crime stats and there was houses two blocks behind you that got broken in. So this is where we sell the doorbell cameras. I went and verified what he did, and he was absolutely right. So the danger exists, even though I personally don't see it because I'm like, oh well, this is a working class community, blah blah blah, and there's no thugs on the corner, blah. No, people come to where they perceive people to have money to do their grimy shit. When you get off the plane and you shine and you got that shine, people's looking at you as food. That's why they tried to do the switcheroo on BMT with the Uber at the airport. Why is DC born Rob talk about yeah, if you want armed security, you can hit up this person. Huh? Armed security? How about I
Armed
don't go?
security.
Wait, so you don't think that the Medellin government, hey BMT, pull that your tourist thing up again? Only 29 tourists out of all the people that was there passed away. Are you telling me that Medellin government is not doing a good job protecting tourists? What are you talking about here?
No, they're not. They're not. They could do a better job. They can. They can.
Y'all looking for
They can. They can do a better job. They can.
Y'all not looking.
I'm pretty sure there's more than 29 tourists that got shot or stabbed or robbed in New York like last year. Like 100% sure.
No, you're not looking for a better. You're looking for perfection. It's not going to exist. It doesn't exist. So you got to stop looking for perfection.
And I do want to say this about crime stats and actually thinking that some of these, there's probably more murders than that. Like we can't depend on the cops in Medellin to, what I'm saying? They're going to try to cover up as much as possible. So.
Well, not extremely. Not extremely.
But let's take it at face value. I don't even want to argue with the statistics. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that being the case, right? And that statistics, shout outs to that one, then that's the case. It's a small minority. But again, if you want to take those statistics, don't be trying to talk away statistics when we know that the violence and the crime in these places and cities are extremely high. And yes, it is high in a place like Chicago, which I stay my black ass away from also. So again, across the board.
Exactly. A beautiful city.
But I stay away. And as Flyboy said earlier, you try to get out of the hood. So I try to find it funny when you say, I'm trying to make it out of a poor place to only go fly into another poor place. It's cool to do that. But wait, hold on. It's cool to do that, but just don't ignore the facts. The facts are the facts. Statistics are statistics. I don't say it's violence everywhere. No, I say there's higher violence here. I'm aware of it, and I'm feeling safe because I do right things. Okay, cool. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Bless up.
But poor is different. You can't compare poor in the United States to poor in Colombia. It's a difference.
Wait, you said poor, it's different?
Poor is an environment that you're in. Therefore, a person who makes $10,000 a year in the United States might be poor in comparison to the average person who makes $60,000 a year in the United States. But a person if you go to Colombia, a person might not be poor there in Colombia because you can make less than you make in the States, because everyone in Colombia will make similar to the point. No, so how can you go? I'm going from poor to poor. I'm not going for. You're going to do.
No. I was just saying where somebody was like, make it out of the poor, make it out of the hood, right? And then I was saying you're going into another place, but you're not. Again, you're going in there with your American dollars, right? You're going in there with exactly. So don't forget that America helped you out again. You're welcome. But outside of that, you be a poor Colombian, you be an Afro-Colombian struggling just like the rest of them without the connection to America. So remember where you come from. But at the end of the day, the violence is still there. So that's all we're saying is just be frosty, be alert, know that it's there, but you can't talk away the statistics like there ain't no murder or there ain't no robbery. That's just insanity. Because I didn't talk away the statistics when they said, hey, look, that many foreigners are not dying. I said, okay, true. I agree. That many foreigners are not dying. So it's pretty safe.
When Knox said about the government, at this point, we're talking about the government not protecting tourists. When the majority,
I don't know about all that. I'm just sticking to the statistics.
They can do a better job.
They get scoped and robbed.
I don't know if they need to do a better job. I'm pretty sure Colombia's got bigger things on the docket.
Has anybody ever been to Calle Diaz, right? And on this chat, anybody ever been to Calle Diaz? How many?
Of course.
Do they have out there?
Many.
Yeah, they all stand in one place. That's the problem.
Right.
Spread out, boy.
Right. They all stand in the same area, right? But then a tourist decides I'm going to walk 6 blocks away, and that's the government's fault. All right, yo.
Yup. I'm just kidding.
Hold on, let me catch this chat real quick by Mr.
Yup,
Travolta
it's the
with
government's fault.
250 Filipino peso once again. I appreciate that, Mr. Travolta. Says some of you guys don't understand nuance. There is a high probability you get drugged and robbed in Colombia than Thailand. It's just information. We're grown men. Do what you like with this info. All right.
Exactly.
Shout out to Cello Tongues with the 5 super chat says there's no point in looking over your shoulder. If the police not protecting you, you might as well travel to safer places.
Yeah, because I mean, you could say like, all right, there's 1,000 policemen deployed on KIDS. Things pop off there still. Like it's still not a crime-free strip. It's not. It's not. Flyboy, it's not. Flyboy, it's not.
I've never seen nobody.
It's not. Like I remember even Passport Dog telling me that his boy got shot with a BB gun right there on KIDS. Like, so it's like, come on, like. I'm not trying to use confirmation bias to like to help my argument out, but things do pop off in KIDS, no matter how many policemen they do deploy there.
So nowhere is perfect. You guys get this mindset where nothing can happen. Tell me a place where nothing happens.
Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean there is no place like that, and even my man mentioned Chicago. Like I was in Chicago for the better part of like a month just on business, and I was all like, I went to the city at night. There's a place called the West Loop. You go to, you hang out there, you walk in and out of bars. It's like everywhere you go, you just gotta know where you at and where to go, and you gotta pay attention to how y'all talking. Like if I would have been on this channel like this year, before I went to Colombia last year, I probably wouldn't have went, because you ain't about to smack me 6 times Monday through Saturday and then kiss me on Sunday and tell me everything's cool. So if you come out and say every point, like out of every 10 points y'all make, at least the 3 of y'all here, 9 of them is a negative like comment about Colombia, and one of them is like, well, just take it as you wish. I ain't saying don't go. What you telling me 9 out of 10 things why I shouldn't go? It sounds like I shouldn't go. So if you're gonna stand on that. Don't like wishy-washy about it, or at least have some balance in your critique. Like, well, this place is cool if you go like this, or this place is cool if you go like this. And once again, we black, and I talk to mad people, and I see mad white people who ain't tougher than me, ain't been through the same stuff, and a lot of them don't even make no more money than me. I'm an engineer. I've made my 100K, 150 in a year. I'm cool. So it's like they go to places. They go to Africa, like Mali, all types of places where, yes, it sounds crazy to go. So what are we doing here? Like, okay, talks about Colombia. Is there any balance to this, or are we just going to be like, boom, 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 negative, negative? What are we doing?
Well, there's a balance to it, but you got to
It sounds just like Kevin Samuel stuff, right? When Kevin Samuel used to go in there and talk high value men and the women come on, well, what about the balance? Like, bro, there's many people who talk about the positives. We got a couple of streams that might say about the negatives, right? You ever click on a YouTube video and they say, the reasons why you shouldn't get this dog, the reasons why you shouldn't come here, the reasons why you shouldn't take a job in engineering.
So it's just for the clicks.
And wait, hold on, let me finish. And then they say it.
It was just for the clicks, let me know.
And they still got videos that say why you should go, why you could go, what's the benefits of it. So there's many videos. We talk about one thing, and then y'all ride up a hill like black women on Kevin Samuels talking about, well, what about the men though? What about the men though? Let's talk about a holistic thing. We're going to talk about it all. Okay. Yeah. So do you want to get into the 10 great points? I don't know. Ask BMT. It's his show. I'm not about to redirect it though and be like, y'all need to talk about everything. Y'all need to have it go across the board. Like,
but it's supposed to be a travel channel. I thought Travel Channel would include.
Understood, but like,
so should we talk about why you shouldn't go here because something might go on, and then they give you reasons why you should. You never heard that before. Travel channels are only supposed to say only go. There's no danger, like he said.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
no
should
war because I know how to move. Come on, man.
But
if there's a place to obviously not go because there's too much danger. Yeah, give me that. But if you're telling me this place is a place obviously I gotta go to, I expect the situation to be one-sided. I expect it to be 9 out of 10 reasons not to go. That's what I expect. Just be is this honesty or is this just for the clicks?
All right, go ahead, Nat. What you gonna say?
All right, so look, there's this huge caravan of people trying to get to America. You know where the most of them are coming from? The same regions a lot of y'all go to. There's
Damn.
a reason why people are fleeing those areas, right? Certain countries they had to have the army get involved. Okay, so just take that into consideration. Take the stories of the brothers that actually travel into consideration. Take the statistics in consideration. Now, I want to leave y'all with a gem here. And then I'm gonna click off. If y'all want to know the safest place on the planet for a black man, look no further than the arms of a big, beautiful black woman. All right.
He got a big girl.
Shout out to that, man. All right, I got International Zoe chiming in. He says they are not doing a good enough job of getting to the bottom of tourists being drugged or other crimes.
Thank you. Thank you.
To criminals.
Thank you.
Shout my man.
Thank you. Like, they could do a lot better of a job.
Ask, at what percentage level are we saying it's a good enough job? Because if you're telling me only 10% of tourists get robbed or scoped, well, that was less than 29 was less than 10%, right? So that's probably
like
less
1%.
It's like less than 1%.
If you're telling me that, let's give it 2. If you're telling me that 2% of tourists are getting robbed, scoped, or killed, what percentage should there be for it to be enough for people to do work, for them to be doing a good job?
I mean, do you guys expect like there's no robbing, no zoning at all, period, and then you'll go? Like, what are we doing?
No, I think that the government's doing a good enough job right now off the statistics. Unlike you guys, I'm not going to argue away the statistics. If that's the statistics. So I think
we're
they're
not
doing
arguing
a
the
good job.
statistics either.
No, I mean, when I say it's dangerous, then you say the whole world is dangerous. That's what I'm talking about, you arguing away statistics. But what I'm saying is, if that's the statistics on the the issues, then that's low. I think it's an acceptable percentage right there.
At least he agrees with that, and I agree with that too. That's why I say a lot of times what happens is that we see it so much on the internet now that it gives us this perception of like you're not looking at the statistics, but having
that it's happening to everybody.
And it's happening to everybody, happening all the time. And now we go by that theory and
it's an algorithm bubble that you are kind of constructed in. If you read comment sections on a video and you see that it kind of slides to your view, go to resort them by the newest. And then once you do that, you'll see that damn, the comment section ain't actually thinking like I'm thinking, but it's just because the algorithm sets it up like that. So you think again, everybody's getting drugged because that might be in your filter bubble. So if that's statistics, and I don't want to argue with the statistics, I'll take it for what it is. And then net, it's pretty safe as far as the tourists go, right? But those dangers still exist.
Can I ask all y'all black men a question? All of y'all are black men. Worldwide, we are the statistic. There's people, all of every different color outside of us, that will pull up a statistic that say we are dangerous as black men. That when we come, we are danger. We are the criminals. We will rob you. We will kill you. We are dangerous to be around. Are y'all comfortable with that as a perception?
What statistics is this that says we're dangerous?
No, I'm just talking in general that there's people that will take a statistic and say that we are dangerous.
So if you go to Kenya, that's the statistic?
Yeah, I mean, look, Kenya is still a country that's European dominated. It might be.
Yeah, a lot.
So,
I don't know. That's y'all narrative.
I mean,
that's what y'all believe.
I guess
that's
to sum it up, like Colombia isn't really dangerous in that aspect, I guess. So it's just like we're overreacting. Like it's really not that dangerous when you think about it. I mean, let's just forget about it. Like
that's what I'm trying to.
You can stand on it.
But understand when you go and say that, this does like let's loosen the guard a lot of bit when people are hearing this. You got to understand that this is why we have to have this sort of balance where like, all right, you're on this end of this whole ideology and we're on the other end. You know what I mean? Because like, hey, if they were to only listen to you, right, I think a lot of people will probably get robbed more. Then that's to be honest. If they were to listen to me, they probably wouldn't want to go to Colombia. You know what I mean? To be fair.
Hey, I think if they would listen to me, they will focus more on learning how to move than whether or not they're going to get robbed, because they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care to say, "Oh, everyone keep thinking, oh, it's going to be dangerous. It's going to be dangerous." They would think, "How can I avoid the danger?"
Exactly, but you need to identify the danger in order to be able to move against it. So again, it's a two-way street.
To stay away from the danger. How can I
But
say
you need to
enjoy
know that
themselves?
it's dangerous. You see what I'm saying? You need to
And
know about the
sometimes we
danger and come up with
conflate.
strategies against it.
Sometimes we conflate
So
knowing how
both
to
of them
move
the
with
same.
being
They
fortunate
both
to
need
not
to
come
exist.
across that person who can, you know what I mean? Take your life away or do whatever the case is. But who that? Oh,
All right,
Barbara. What up? What up?
I want to welcome my man, Zoe in the building. What up, Zoe?
What's good, fam?
Like you slimming down
What's
there, brother.
shaking?
Okay, I see you. I see you.
Walking a little bit.
Okay,
Yo,
okay.
Zoe, you gotta help me out here, man.
He said,
I didn't catch it from the beginning, but I would say that places are definitely dangerous based on poverty. Poverty breeds danger, and there are dangerous neighborhoods that are not too far away from the tourist neighborhoods which would be safer, and there are countries that are just a little more dangerous than others. It can't be denied, And yes, even if you are in a country many times and nothing happens to you because you're moving wisely, and you could also just have been fortunate enough for it not to happen to you, because I know I'll be in Colombia a lot and I never got drugged, but I could have gotten drugged. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you meet women, even if you try and do it safely, you know what I'm saying? And you have women over your place where you're staying, and you may be drinking out in Parquilleres or somewhere else, or you could be in one of the regular nightclubs. The fact that it has that type of danger where they do drug people, that is not a similar danger that's in other countries where they use scopolamine on their victims. And some of the people have died from the combination of scopolamine in their health, or maybe just overdosing on scopolamine. That is a danger that you don't have to face in other places, which makes that place unique, that danger in that country unique. So you can't be compared to other places where they don't have that problem. And then, while I said they're not doing a great enough job, I don't mean per capita. What I mean is that, like, for instance, Cuba, Thailand, the severity of jail time is so high that it deters people from even doing crimes. That's why you can pretty much walk around Cuba and don't have to worry. The amount of years they give people for crimes in jail is ridiculous, and nobody wants to go to jail in Cuba. Same thing in Thailand. Nobody wants to go to jail in Thailand, which is part of the reasons why the places are safe. Also, is part of the culture. I've forgotten my phone on the moto in Thailand several times, and went into the club and came back out and my phone was there. So there are different levels of crime in different countries, and it's not all the same. And Colombia is a country that you always have to be on guard, and that's totally different than visiting some other places where every place has crime and has good and bad neighborhoods, but the types of crimes, people get shot in Colombia and it's never solved. People get drugged in Colombia, although you have seen sometimes they arrested people, but it's times that it never gets solved. So, people are not brought to justice as much in Colombia, which also makes it, dangerous, because a lot of these people are getting away with the crimes.
Why do you even go there, Zoe? Doesn't sound like you should even go. You gave me 10 out of 10 points. You gave me 9 that says don't go. Why
of course,
go?
we're going with,
But
okay. The average
are you?
person is not going to do anything to you. You understand? You can go to Colombia and have a great time and meet beautiful people and stay in a nice neighborhood and beautiful weather in Medellin. Okay? 99, whatever percentage of people in Colombia is not there to hurt you. But the percentage that can hurt you in the severity of how they hurt you, it still makes it dangerous, because people get scopolamine and don't wake up. People get scopolamine and lose their credit card, their passport. So the severity of the crime, even though it might not be, it's not happening to everybody. Of course, it might happen to 1%, but the severity is still high.
I can agree
Would
with
you
that.
move there
That's what
because
I'm
of
saying.
that?
I agree with that.
Would
Like,
I move there?
severity,
Yeah.
severity.
It wouldn't. I like the good things about Colombia, but it wouldn't be my first place to move because of that. And I have considered moving, living, buying property in Colombia. But then again, to me, Medellin is the best city, but it's also the city that that crime happens the most as well. So it happens a lot less in Barranquilla, a lot less in Cali, but it happens in Cali. The last time I was in Cali, friends that I was with when I did that live later on that day, they got scopolamine. So it doesn't. Cali is maybe the third city that scopolamine happens the most in Colombia. It's first is Medellin, then it's Cartagena, then it's Cali.
No, the first is it's Bogota for real, for real. I'm not gonna even lie to you. It's Bogota,
Okay, but most of us
number
don't go
one.
to Bogota.
Yeah, true. You got a
Most of
point.
us don't
That's
go.
fair.
So you're probably right. You're probably right. But I would say Cali is in the top 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other cities where you don't hear that, but it's going to be in the cities where they're the most tourists.
Good point. I want to give a shout out to my man, Mr. Travolta, once again with your 125 Filipino peso, man. I really appreciate that. Since Flyboy, you just addicted to those racially ambiguous big booty Latinas. It's clouding your judgment. Give me the booty, forget the danger.
Risk reward.
Risk reward,
man. Risk reward. It's always the risk reward, man. You got to play it out, man. I mean,
question.
The way I've never heard anybody break it down like that, but yes, I think it doesn't happen a lot, but the risk of what can happen is probably higher than a lot of other places when it does happen, even though it doesn't happen a lot. But again, I think it's all based on you doing the research and knowing how to move.
You know what's funny, man? It seems like the places with the most beautiful women are going to be the most dangerous places.
No, it's not true. I just say this. You know how to move. I know how to move. Right? But it only takes a second. You know what I mean? I know guys who they ain't, give their testimony on a YouTube, but guys who are veterans who know how to move, and it still happened to them because it only takes a second. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't necessarily happen. It could not happen on the first date. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, so do you think that it happens because they get loose and they feel comfortable when they start doing amateur moves, or just because it's a matter of time?
A combination.
It's a combination.
Okay, say you on guard, right? But you could easily make a mistake and go to the bathroom and come back and drink your drink and be like, oh shit, right? And it's already too late. Even if you don't wait after that. You have to be so on guard. You could be in the club, put your drink down. They used a little eyedropper. They could hit you so easy. So yes, being on guard helps you, but nobody's perfect. And one slip, you could get got.
Nah, but Flyboy got Navy SEAL discipline.
Listen, let me tell you something. My boy, right? My boy got scoped before, and his girl got scoped before. And they both got scoped again. These are people who you think you get scoped once, right? And you on guard, and you but it could still happen again. It only take 1 second for you to. I've taken 1 second and be like, damn, I could have just got scoped. I didn't get scoped, but I could have got scoped. I know that I've been cool and pretty safe, but it only take one slip up for you to get drugged, dogs.
I only hear stories from people who completely.
If you flagrant, it's definitely going to happen to you. Yeah. But I know guys who not flagrant, and it still happens to them.
All right, let me get a super chat by Cello. Tell us $2 super chat. It says cartel and police work together. That's not good.
They do that in Mexico too.
Some cases they do.
A lot in Mexico. Like
Quasi, you good down there, man? It seems like they kind of busting your bubble a little bit, brother. It seems like they just taking the
nah, because at the end of the day, here's the thing. Here's what he just said, right? Here's something that's very true. Wherever there's good women, like fly women, is dangerous. And I think of America, Miami, Chicago, LA,
Houston.
New York,
New York, of course.
I mean, I ain't going to Wichita for women, dog. I ain't going to like Idaho for women, man. Like, I ain't going to Maine for women.
What is What
like,
if
it's
your
very safe in Maine. I'm not going there for chicks. So what are we doing
And
here?
what
no,
and
but
what
It's
do
listen,
all
very
these
safe in
places have
Maine.
in common?
but listen, where
Racially
isn't there
ambiguous.
beautiful women? Where isn't there beautiful women? So all those places in
Maine.
I'm just saying, there's beautiful women
talking about?
everywhere now.
Accessible.
Maybe you won't say where there's 304s or prostitution or red lights, it might be dangerous, but there's beautiful women everywhere.
Accessible, beautiful women, though.
That's red light district.
Yo, at the same time, it's like
A lot of games
you
go
make a
down
statement.
in those districts.
Yeah, but Zoe, at the same time, you understand here you making statements. I want you to just stand on it. Say something like that's profound. Say, don't go, don't live. And if
you
you
want
do that, you got to talk.
Because everybody's a grown man. You could go and make it out just fine in all of these places where things happen.
No,
right?
but from what you saying, I'm definitely, if I go there a certain amount of times, and a certain amount of times, my logic means like, hey, if I live there, that's more than like a certain amount of times. Me, I go there for like 4 weeks out the year. If I live there, that's 52 weeks. So
Yeah, but-
from your logic, if I go there 52 weeks, I am going to get scoped. Can you stand on that statement?
Let me say
No, you're increasing your chances of, you're increasing your chances.
When you live there, you don't have to go to the areas where that happens. Now you meet Colombians, now you meet girls that's not in that life, not in the fast life, not in the hustle. So you could change the type of people you're around on a day-to-day basis when you live there. Like when I lived there, it was in Laureles. I went to the park in Laureles. We worked out. We went to the restaurants out there. I might have gone to Parque Yedes once a week, once every other week. So I didn't even be in that element. Then you might have a regular girl or two, 3 or 4 that you mess with, that you know, that you trust. But when you going down there just to have fun, it's different than living there. You know what I mean? When you live there, you gradually move away from that type of areas where that stuff happens.
Except in America, I'll just say this, except in America, it's more likely when you live someplace for something to pop off, because you could pass through a lot of places that you consider. Like I said, I was in Chicago for 3 weeks. You could pass through certain places, but it's usually the people that live there that get involved with the people there that something happened to. Now, everything you just said is at least a little more balanced, because it does sound like that makes sense. You live there, you could avoid the potholes a lot easier. You don't gotta, but to just stand on, yo, go there often enough, this gonna happen to you for sure. That sounds kind of like a wild statement. But go ahead.
Nobody could say that it's going to happen to you, because like I said, it never happened to me. But I can't be crazy shocked if it were to happen to me, because it happens there. You understand? It happens there. So could it happen to me? It's a possibility. That's all I'm saying. Will it happen? Probably not, especially if you're on guard, but it could happen. And it has happened to a lot of people. But like the people I know it happened to, I feel is a lot. And we all know people it happened to. And those people are not the same people.
Would you agree that it's not a high probability if you move the way you move, the way we move?
Like I always say, if you get high, if you drink, if you get drunk or tipsy, you're going to take yourself off your point, right? But you could be on you literally have to be like, okay, even if I have company, if I don't know this girl, I can't even drink water in my house. This is all the things you got to do to be safe. I can't kiss no breastises. You know what I'm saying? I got to make her get in the shower with me. You got to go through this list. I got to let my doorman know. You know, I got to stay in the building where I got to walk them back downstairs to get out. These are all the check marks you got to have for your probability for it to not happen. And that's just scopolamine, because brothers is getting robbed in Colombia too. We seen dude get shot in the face, dude grab dude's chains. So that's not the only crime. They have the regular stick-up crime too in Colombia as well.
And not careful now, because
hold on, let me catch super chat with my man Jay Clyde. Shout out my man Jay Clyde. Always
Jay Clyde.
Well, the $5 super chat says, if you are scared, go somewhere else. Colombia won't miss you.
If you're scared, go to San Andreas. That's all.
Yeah, and that's okay too. Also, if you live there, it's the same thing. If you live there, the embassy is going to give you the same spiel. They're going to give you the same information, just so you could be cautious. Even for people who work at the embassy, they're not technically going to the clubs and going to get pros, but they still need to give them the information because it could just happen, period, to you. You'll be sitting there mad at the embassy. They didn't tell me. They didn't prepare me. Now I'm victim. And it's like, we're giving you the information. Other than that, bro, you're a grown man. Decide what you want to do. Decide if that risk versus reward is what you're willing to accept. And if it is, enjoy yourself and stay frosty.
Agreed.
I agree.
Good point.
But Quasi, I wanted to ask, like, when you like try to do recon in a certain country that you want to visit, do you only look at the information that you want to see? Like, do you only want to see the good that's coming out of the country? If you were to see some negative aspects from it, would it just immediately deter you away? Like, what is your thought process when you go, like, you know what I'm saying, study up a country?
Okay, before I went to Colombia last year, I got my boy. I first looked at YouTube videos. BMT was one of them, right? Passportbros was one of them, right? Told me, like, hey, look, walk around this way. Don't walk around with your phone. I hear that in many countries. Have, like, I even bought a satchel to put my stuff in the front. Walked around with that. Okay? Wallet and everything in there. So I looked at the videos, but none of them would tell me not to go because I'm seeing a white girl in Cartagena by herself, staying downtown in the district, going traveling to do that mud thing, traveling to all the restaurants in Cartagena. And me, I'm like, look, I can't live my life just scared to go certain places because somebody's helping and because some one or two things might happen. Obviously, that white girl is 5'6", 110 pounds soaking wet. I'm 5'8", 240, used to play football. I think I should be able to handle myself somewhere where she thinks she's safe enough to. That's my logic by it. Regardless of scoping, regardless of being robbed, regardless of any other danger. Why are this person going there and I'm not? I'm born in Guyana, South America, right? I moved when I was 4 years old. I didn't go back till I was 40. You know why? Because people were telling me stories about Guyana. You know what they told me? Let me clue y'all in. They said after 7 p.m., if you need a cop, you got to go pick them up in Guyana, South America. They told me, don't get to the airport after 8 p.m. or you're going to get robbed in Guyana, South America, where I was born at. Now, look up Guyana, South America. I went there finally when I was 40. My dad picked me up from the airport late. There's mad cops out there. You safe out there getting from the airport to where you got to go. And if you look up Guyana right now, oil, booming. I had to go back 2 times last year. I got to go back again soon to manage real estate out there. And if I would have just never went off perception, I might be missing out on some money that's owed to me right now. So there's a money thing. There's a women thing. There's all these types of things that you could miss if you just listen to, like, oh, don't go there because of this. This is going to happen to you. I'm just saying.
Everybody was told, or family members worried that they were going to Colombia or going to Brazil or going a lot of places. That's normal. Other people's fear.
Going to Chicago.
So you can't let that stop you from going somewhere, but you should try and do some due diligence and find out where to stay. Where is it safer? Because if you do some due diligence, they will say, don't stay in this part. It's dangerous. You should stay. Tourists should stay here. It's the safest place. It's close to everything. So it's anywhere you go, unless it's a war-torn country, it's going to have nice neighborhoods, you know what I mean, and safe places where the people with money usually stay, or, you know, just to be safe. And that's where you go. You know, usually you're going to go to those places and, you know, stay there and be pretty much safe. Poblado used to be the place to stay. It used to be very safe. You know, maybe 2019, 2020, it didn't have this. I heard of scopolamine, but it didn't have this type of you know, wide range, you know, they making money off of it and they're being successful. So it's a lick. It's a new lick. It's something that's been around for a while, but they catching their money off of that. And tourists just got to be aware of it. If you want to be aware, some people say, I ain't got time to be checking off all these boxes. I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah, Jay Clyde, I said that earlier, Jay Clyde. He's like, the biggest issue is always going to be somebody trying to save money. That's going to always, aside from drinking or doing some kind of paraphernalia, people trying to save money is the biggest thing that leads them getting robbed in Colombia. The biggest thing. You're not staying somewhere safe. Like, I've never heard of anybody staying in Europa getting robbed in Europa. Never.
Certain places is hard because they got security and you have to walk them downstairs. So even if their plan was to drug you, when they see where you're staying and they have to give up their ID, and have to take a picture, you know, and they can't go down by themselves. Even if their plan was to drug you, they would have to change their plan because they wouldn't be able to get out of there.
Yep, but that's also an important part. That's also important part about just setting up your security and being alert of such risk. That's it. I've been overseas for 20 years, and I've been living. So I ain't been doing this I just got on a plane and I'm getting my wings now. I've been doing this, and I've been with the embassies most of the time. So I've been really close to all the information, statistics, security parameters, and how we're supposed to function and move. Because you got embassy people overseas, you got to take care of them. You can't just have them moving without information. You can't just be like, hey, I just brought my family, my little kids to this foreign country. What's the information? What do we need to look? Well, it's just like America. Oh, violence is violence. No, they have to sit you down and go over with your family. Hey, don't take this public transportation. Hey, watch out for this. Hey, watch out for this. And so a family is equipped with the information so now that they can live a good life and a quality of life while they serve their embassy overseas. So I'm pointing this out from somebody who's been in there for 20 years plus. And I'm saying, hey guys, I'm gonna give you the same information. You can go to the Department of State. They got all the information you ever need, actually. And from that point on, you can move smart. So you won't be a part of these casualties that we see in the algorithm where people are getting scopamine and et cetera, because they might move out and think everything's light. So you just gotta be very cautious and very safe. And the stream today was just specifically about the dangers between Rio and Colombia. But again, those risks exist all throughout the world in different shapes, forms, and fashions. Be alert, be prepared, stay frosty.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just didn't agree with that part that they said, don't use Tinder no more.
Okay.
That's I would have to second that emotion. I use Tinder all the time. Listen, and
y'all still use Tinder?
There is an art to Tinder, but what I have been doing, I've really been getting off of Tinder and more on Bumble because Bumble got the regular chicks. So I've been bumbling
super regular.
I ain't really even been doing Tinder no more. Bumble is my new lick. Regular dates, regular chicks.
All this safe talk and Zoe been living reckless on Tinder. All this safe talk and he been reckless on Tinder.
No, I haven't been living. See, the difference between what I do, my settings are different. And I only match with chicks that say certain things. 1, 2. When I meet a girl from Tinder, I meet her outside at a restaurant and feel her out. You know what I'm saying? Before I let her come to my house. Sometimes they never make it to my house. I don't like them. Because, you know, on Tinder, a lot of times you going to get the catfish. Chicks know how to look real good on Tinder. And then you meet with them and you got to take 2 or 3 points off of them. So there's an art to it, man. You know, we can talk about it and I can show you how to do it the Zoe way. And you'll be
the craziest thing when Zoe and I said Tinder, Bill keeps cringe.
No, because I've never had a problem on Tinder. And I've met a girl I think was trying to scope me because she was like, let's meet at the bar. Let's have a drink. I'm like, nah, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't want to meet at a bar. You know what I'm saying? But it's how you go about it, man. I don't know. Like I said, it's a combination of knowing how to move and probably being lucky.
Go ahead. I think we established that scopamine is the thing to look out in for Colombia. I'm curious to where Zoe's at, where my man Obstacles to Opportunities at, Am I where Belleville is at? Where y'all at right now? And be honest about what I should look out for in those countries.
I'm in Brazil. I'm in Rio de Janeiro. I'm sitting in my crib in Rio, baby.
What's the danger?
I'm living it, man.
Living. Now you scopamine. You ain't living. You ain't with us. You
Listen, I'm living. I ain't never had no scopamine. I ain't never had no COVID.
You look scoped up right now. Where Belleville at? Where Belleville at?
Oh, back, Val. Now I'm in New York right now. I'm back home right now.
Where's obstacles at? Where you at?
I'm in Thailand.
What should I look out for in Thailand besides ladyboys, man? Tell the truth.
Well, I don't know. It depends on what you up on. You might not want to be, you might want to go towards them. We don't know. But yeah, street food, I would say definitely thinking that girls at the bars is clean Christian women. Like there's a lot of things you could get set up on out here. So, I mean.
But it's not dangerous, for the most part.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. As long as you don't have anything related to drugs, you'll be all right. If you stay away from drugs, and I mean all shape, form, or fashions, because Thailand don't play also, even the weed stuff. If you stay away from it, most of the crime organization is over there. One thing about Thailand, though, is the biggest gangsters is the police. So they don't play with any of that. They protect tourism to the highest extent. There was a Chinese streamer that said something negative about one of the walking streets. They had that girl hemmed up within 2 seconds. They don't play with their tourism because it creates a lot of money for the police on the back end. And so at the end of the day, even if you was trying to scheme people out here in Thailand, the cops will pull up to you on quick, fast, in a hurry. So net across the board, you just got to be careful of your personal life and who you invite into your own life. Because next thing you know, you're going to be paying for water buffaloes and somebody's grandma that's sick in the village and all this other stuff. The suckers get schemed on that. And that's a whole different type of scheme.
Somebody in Thailand lose millions of dollars a couple of months ago.
Yeah. And especially, too, man, that love thing is serious. Most of y'all ninjas come out here and go get suckered for love. And that's the scheme. So while,
I don't think it's black dudes.
No, just people, period. That's people, period.
White dudes who be
No. It's definitely them for sure. But I just said ninjas meaning everybody, not just black people.
Hold on.
But
Scopamine is dangerous in Colombia, but love is dangerous in Thailand. What's going on? What's going on there? Love is dangerous.
They hit you with that femininity, and y'all be gone. Y'all ready to put the condo in her name? Y'all ready to sign over your rights? Y'all ready to give her your goddamn pension check? That's just what it is, man.
So they get robbed. They getting robbed in Thailand over love. That's how they get them, just with love, no drugs, no bop over the head.
They're getting suckered. Some people getting suckered.
Some people get suckered. I say most of them, but yeah, a good amount of them. Let's just deck it there. So that's it, though.
BMT's in DR, right?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be honest about DR. But go ahead, BMT.
What you mean be honest? I'm in San Domingo.
What do I need to look out for in DR?
You gotta stay there. You gotta live there, BMT. Be careful.
You gotta look out for the chicks.
Yeah.
Y'all got the best game.
Motos.
Yeah, don't fall in love. You be all right.
You gotta watch out for the motos. You know what I mean. You can't be flashy as well in Santo Domingo. It's the same thing in Medellin almost, but it's not as dangerous. I'll say that.
I feel pretty safe, and I've been walking around at night.
It's not as the nighttime is. Yeah, that's where it goes down. But
at least
what goes down?
That drug thing tops the scale, man.
Now, if you're just walking around at nighttime aimlessly and whatnot, you're gonna get got. You're gonna get got. It just depends on what area. You get shot, you get stabbed. I mean, I don't want to say all this vulgar stuff on the panel, but yeah, I don't know about scopolamine though.
Colombia, but
I'm just saying, like
it almost happened to me. So,
I mean, from my standpoint, San Domingo is pretty safe, but I live in a nice ass area too. So,
but when you getting drugged, that's just a whole nother level of crime and griminess, man. That's dangerous.
It's meticulous planning. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Dominican, when they get mad at your ass, though, they'll cut your ass out in a heartbeat. Boy, they like sisters, for real.
The only thing I don't like, only thing I don't like about Bumble is that we gotta be living there for long because it take a while for them to respond back because you can't send the message. Don't they gotta send a message to you? You can't on Bumble. You can't.
Yeah, which is good because they already got interest. You ain't got to do a lot of work. You just accept the ones that show interest in you.
Yo, stop giving them the game. That's exactly what that. Yo, y'all be trying to talk to
Well,
shorties that don't even send you message. Like, yo, only rock with the ones that send you a message. The other ones don't care about you. You sitting up here trying to hawk. That's too much work. If a shorty want to rock with you, she rock with you. She gonna message you.
That's definitely Thailand, J. Clyde. That's hands down gotta be Thailand.
nah, that's not even the
What?
truth though. Like
Girls
most
message
guys
you?
just want to go to places and not get scopolamine, not get robbed, not get shot. Like guys just want to go on vacation and want to come back home in one piece. Like let's not stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole thing here, like, it's not that crazy. Like
All right,
we just
I'm
want to
gonna
go somewhere and come back in one piece. That's all.
I want to give a shout out to my man Jay Rads, Soul Fiesta with the 20 mil Colombian peso. Shout out to my man Jay Rads, one of the dopest DJs out there at Medellin. So Aaron, I like when you have these panels of experienced travelers. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Shout out to my man Jay Rags. All right, man, we've been at it for a minute, man. Yeah,
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna be
BMT.
out. Oh, okay.
Wait, no. I wanted to say, but if you want the most relevant information on how to stay safe and don't have any problems, you got to go get the Passport Bro app. That's how you stay in track. A community of like-minded individuals who already been through it, and you get the experts that been in these countries, living in these countries. It's only at Passport Bros.
For sure, man. For sure. But we're gonna go ahead and close up the show, man. We've been at it for almost 3 hours, guys. This is a good one. I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I got some legends coming on, man. Bubble World, Flyboy Away. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody. Opportunities, Quasi, Backpack Val. We're doing good. Even Knack. You got to throw Knack in there for a minute, man. So, in closing, anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, I'll go first. Yo, thank you for having me on. This panel was exceptional. Like I feel like this is a prime example of, you know what I'm saying, brothers coming together. Even if we have a disagreement with one another, we're still able to have a positive conversation. Because I can't say that I didn't take anything from where Flyboy was coming from or where Quasi was coming from. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot from the conversation, even if it wasn't coming from my perspective. And I respect it. You know what I mean? Like I know, like at the end of the day, Flyboy and I, we're still cool. You know, and I feel like this is how things should go in the travel space, where you see a lot of people have disagreements. Like conversations like these, you know what I mean? Like it's just a good model to look at as far as, you know what I'm saying, pushing forward. And you have a great conversation with people disagreeing with each other, but still being understanding and still being respectful. So I'm just appreciative to be part of this whole conversation. So shouts to Flyboy and Quasi for, you know what I mean, showing good resistance. Obstacles to opportunities. You always come up here and give good discourse as well. The international zone, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate, I'm saying, your input, being in this travel game for a long time, and BMT for putting this all together. You're the man for that. And on that note, I'm outro. You know what I mean? See you on the next one.
Appreciate it. Quasi, go ahead, brother. I know you got something to say about this.
Yeah, I would just say, man, yeah, I appreciate everybody on the panel. I like these discussions to be honest in every direction. And I think, you know, we just gotta be careful because it still is a travel channel. I still would love this channel to inspire people to travel, but inspire people to travel safely and know what to do, where they go and when they go. And to be honest, I think everything in the world exists. There's safe countries, and there is probably a country you can't go. Like for instance, all the beautiful women are coming from there, but I can't go to Venezuela and I wouldn't want to. You know what I'm saying? So there is probably an actual real example of someplace where we as brothers should probably draw the line and be like, nah. Colombia, I don't know. I don't think that's the one. But I appreciate all of us saying how we should move when we get out there, man. I appreciate it. Love for all y'all.
Shout out to you, Quasi, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Good show.
Oh, thank you, brother. Watch y'all all the time, man. All right.
We had dropped my Wi-Fi. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
BT got that Wi-Fi going in.
That DR.
DR
Wi-Fi.
Come on, guys.
We hear you.
Yo, we hear you. We frozen.
Right, I think the Wi-Fi is coming back on, I believe, family.
Almost made it out without a scratch.
The next stream is, does DR got bad Wi-Fi? So shout outs. Is the DR dangerous?
Froze up, fam.
Is the DR dangerous for Wi-Fi for Passport Bros? Because you can't get on the internet. So shout outs to everybody on this channel on the stream today. I don't agree with Fly at the end of the day, because Fly got kryptonite, and that's racially ambiguous big booty broads. So he's willing to do anything. But nah, on a serious note, shout outs to everybody. I think staying frosty and utilizing the Department of State, they got a website. It will provide some good information about threats and security parameters that you need to look out for. Use that, listen to people and all the information, and you make a decision as a grown man. I'm not here to tell you what to do, because every man's going to take a risk considering what he wants as a reward. And that's just how life is. So at the end of the day, net, stay frosty, enjoy yourself, and as I say in that moniker, outsource your life. Get your money from America. It's a great place to build wealth, and then you take that wealth and you live like a king, wherever treats you the best. Shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to the Passport Gang and the Passport Bro app. Peace. Your Wi-Fi back?
Nah, he dropped off.
Dang.
No, we back. My bad, family. My bad. Damn Wi-Fi. Make a Wi-Fi. All right, who was talking? Who's next? My bad.
I'll go next.
Go ahead, Flyboy.
Again, I think that the most important thing is that we have these conversations. We could all come from different angles, but I think when you have all of the information, you can make a better judgment and you can stay safe. You can avoid danger, because we have to stop saying something is dangerous, or we don't have to. We should stop saying something is dangerous if what is causing the danger is the person's reckless actions. Because yes, there is going to be danger somewhere. I'll admit there is danger everywhere, but you can avoid a lot of that danger if you don't move recklessly. If I drive a car blindfolded, it's a reckless driver. It's dangerous. I might die. If I take that blindfold off, I can see the light. I can see where I'm going. I can drive straight. Don't try to budget everything, y'all. Don't try to be we are already saving money whatever country we go to, because y'all know how inflation is in the United States right now. It's ridiculous. Y'all, for everybody. You know how everything is in the United States. So no matter where we're going to save money. Don't try to penny pinch everything, because that's what's going to lead you to being in a dangerous situation. Shout out to the Passportbros app. Shout out to BMT. I'm gonna work next year. I'm gonna work on my on building my passport app page and stuff. But until then, y'all, it's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel. Last thing, don't be scared of Tinder. And damn, Zoe, she really was a catfish. God damn, man.
Yes,
damn, bro.
One of the worst ever, man. I'm glad you didn't get the number.
God,
because she don't look nothing like that.
All right, go ahead.
Work hard. I just want to say shout out to everybody on the panel. It's always good to have positive conversations and share different perspectives. I want brothers to travel, be brave, get out there. People say places are dangerous. They always have. Just be smart, see it for yourself. And, and always remember, sometimes I forget, and we all forget, that people are watching you out there, so sometimes I'm amazed that people come up to me and they say they watch the channel and they be with their wife and they're like, me and my wife watch the channel. And I be like, your wife be seeing all the crazy shit I be doing, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, sometimes just remember that people are watching, you know what I'm saying? And we try and represent ourselves in a decent way. None of us are perfect, but enjoy yourself and try to stay safe, man. Shout out to Aaron BMT. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to chime in and add a little extra information. All right, brother, peace.
All right, peace, for sure. All right, obstacles to opportunity. You have the floor, sir.
No. I already said my spill when you was actually gone. So shout outs to you, man. Passport Bro app all day.
My janky Wi-Fi. All right.
Yeah. I was saying to everybody that we got to do a stream that says, is DR good for internet and the Passport Bros, because the internet be going down. So we don't know. Man.
We were doing good. It was so smooth too. Man. All right. Great show,
all right,
guys.
peace, brother.
Peace.